laughing monkey とかさ。
Maybe I have a chance. You goddamn crocodile! Go back to the fucking Florida! Go back to the Florida, you fucking crocodile!
Yeah, you know, I'm in favor of execution. Maybe our entire team needs to be executed after tonight.
Degenerates. You guys degenerates.
Hello, Special Department.
What's up, everybody? Good to see you today. We're back in action. Of course, it's Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. I am Andrew Esquire, American attorney, checking in from Asia. And today we're going to have a great one going over a lot of things, but mainly involving the story of Amano Serafi. We're going to be talking about that very, very soon. So yeah, we're going to be talking about that today. It's good to see everybody here in the chat today. We got 773 people already waiting in chat. And yeah, good to see everybody up in here. I am flesh tubing today again. So yeah, we're back in action this way via the flesh. But I will have the PNG probably up for the Pippa stream. I'm not sure. I'm like divided. It's a house divided on that. But yeah. Good to see people up here in the chat. People joining here. What's up? Got people wishing us luck in the chat. Good to see everybody here. And I hope everybody's going to have fun. This one is really a good. It's going to be a very informative stream. And this one is going to be really helpful, I think, to show that it's not just Niji Sanji. This is a thesis I've kind of had lately, and I've wanted to point out that we're not just covering Niji. And I know a lot of people say, oh, it's Niji again, or another anti-color thing. Well, I want to make it clear that any color is being covered because they're major issues and they're big screw-ups, but the screw-ups are not limited to any color. In fact, it can be just as dangerous with a small or medium agency as a large agency. So there can be issues with all different size agencies. So just so you know, and actually let me pull up this one right here so people, I need to pull up the agency itself. So you guys see that, and hopefully what I'm hoping to do is to educate people such that you guys are able to better make decisions, such that you're better able to just understand when you're navigating things, particularly for VTubers. So those that are VTubers, to be a better resource, to be a better aid, and to also show you what is and is not reasonable, and also when you should get a lawyer, because there are points at which you should get a lawyer. In today's story, it ends on a good note. So I know it's going to sound bad, it's going to sound crazy, but it actually ends on a positive note. And it shows you exactly how somebody went through the process and did things correctly. And for somebody that's in a similar situation, what you guys should do, because I think it leads to a lot of peace of mind. But yeah, appreciate that. And I will mention this once, because I know that probably some folks will ask, and maybe folks were asking in the chat. Yesterday's show was privated at the request of a liver who reached out, or a VTuber who reached out to my guest, and they requested they private their video, and we were collaborating. So out of courtesy, I privated my video. Not much there, just, common, request. And I'm always, if there's a nice request and it's written in an email or asked politely, I'm liable to do it. But of course, one thing I will just state for the record is, if anybody ever has anything to request, and let's say you're somebody who sees something I'm covering and wants to issue a clarification or a comment or whatever else, just email me or hit me up on Discord or Twitter or something like that. I'm always willing to talk to people one-on-one. I think trying to sort things out live is never the best way. So that's just what's going on there. People in the chat saying I've ruined their sleep schedule. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. But
So you'll be there, okay?
Today!
Today.
Not tomorrow!
Not tomorrow.
Today!
Today!
So today we've got a lot for you. We've got this one, and then this is my evening. So obviously I'm going to sleep, and in the morning we've got Pippa. So that's going to be great. We've got at least 2 guests for that. I'm wondering about the third. I asked the third, and we'll see whether we get number 3 in. But we've got at least 2 for that, which should be very, very, very interesting. Seeing how that one plays out. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun with lots of clips, lots of positivity with the handling of the issues. So should be really good. I'm really looking forward to the Pip episode. That said, I think we can roll with this topic. And Doomslayer Dragon says, I'm on time today. Oh, congratulations. Good thing for being online. And then Potato Radio said, Your Honor, the defense enters into evidence the story of a failed VTuber agency, 4 hours and 12 minutes. Too long to watch on stream. Pipper interviews the CEO of a failed VTuber agency. Ooh. She was nervous, but dissects his thinking. Interesting. Let me check that out, Potato Radio, actually, because I think that is, I think that's very important. And that's something that I want to be a bigger aid to, is those people setting up agencies and try to do a lot more talking with the professionals behind the scenes. Because I think that's a world that I want you guys to understand a bit better as an audience, to understand what the professionals are thinking, what the business people are thinking. Because look, obviously they're making an agency to make money. I get that. That's perfectly fine. And I know a lot of people nowadays, especially in the, let's say, I don't know another way to say this. I know there's some people that view anybody making money as evil. I do not view it as that at all. In fact, quite the opposite. I view it as generating value. But there are ways to do that in which you are, creating a net positive and a net negative, right? So the way in which you go about it does indeed matter. And the fact that they're trying to, make money to profit, that in and of itself is not the problem. The problem is when they do that through exploitative methods, right? So if they're doing that, if they're profiting by, for example, not sharing justly with their talent, right? I think that's on a different level than they found a way to source materials for cheaper, right? So let's say they found a cheaper material. Okay, whatever. That's their job. If it's the same quality and it's cheaper, okay, fine, right? There's different ways to do things, guys. Or for example, streamlining a process, right? So let's say you have a manufacturing process or a work pipeline and you're able to make that more efficient. That's good. That's a good thing, right? If you're doing it through improvements, through actual efficiency, that's one thing versus exploitation is another. What if today is tomorrow? Because tomorrow never comes. Repton, that is way too deep right now. That is way too deep. KAS says, yeah, you ruined my sleep schedule. You know what time it is? It's 1 a.m. over here. It's midnight here. And you have to wake up at 5. Guess no sleep for me. And I have to wake up at 5. Well, Kay, I'm sorry for that. But yeah, you must be over here in Asia. Or in Australia or somewhere, over on this side of the world, because yeah, it's midnight here and I'm wide awake. I'm wide awake. Look, it's looking good. It's looking good. Yeah, and I do agree. Smoke Jaguar, I see you in the chat. This is it tends to be the people that complain about making money. Typically, it's because they haven't tried, right? So. Or they're not putting in the sufficient work or whatever else. There are some folks that have legitimate concerns, but usually when they're complaining, it's a different way, right? It's a different way. Now let's get started with this. So this particular story we're going to talk about is about Amano Serafi. So for those who don't know, Amano Serafi is over here. Right, they're a VTuber. They have a good amount of viewers, 32.6K. And once again, we're not pushing the millions that Doki or HoloLive or Niji Sanji or the big corporations have. But I think the one important lesson for today is even for medium or smaller VTubers, there are very, very important issues, and you should consider these and read these when you're looking at a contract. Because a lot of people think that these issues just apply to big VTubers. No. These issues are going to apply to smaller VTubers as well. So Amano Serafi is over here on YouTube. Her channel is still up and still got all the videos up and running. And then in addition, Let's see. They still got her Twitter up and running. That has not been taken down at all. And they have not at all put out anything about graduation, anything about, taking her down, anything like that. Just kept everything up here, right? On the Twitter. So still got her Twitter up, still got her YouTube up. So one would think that she was still active, but of course that is not the case. And this was a story that was forwarded to me by about 4 or 5 of you that contacted me with a story. And before I ran with this story, I reached out to her directly and said, hey, I have received your story from my people. They're really interested in me covering this. Can I cover this? And are you okay with it? And, do you want to come on the channel, or do you want me to do this myself? And we talked about it. There's pros, cons, and everything, and decided it's better if I cover this solo, but, with her consent. So this is obviously with her consent and discussion. We talked for about an hour. I had a very good conversation, a very wonderful streamer with a lot of potential in the future. So this is directly approved for anybody who may be concerned. I know a lot of you guys get very concerned out there. I saw in the pre-chat people getting very concerned. Listen, I try to do this whenever I can, if it's something that I'm personally covering and I'm doing the research myself, I typically reach out or try to reach out to cover it. Now, if someone doesn't respond or whatever else, maybe I still will cover it. But yeah, this is something that, especially when it deals with a legal issue, not something like PR or like theory or something else, I try to reach out directly. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Now, she has actually become indie. She's actually dropped out and become indie. So where I found out about this was from her Twitch channel. Now, I will put this stream in the description, right? So I've already got her basic socials for her new account in the description. She has acknowledged her PL, okay? So this is not like a situation in which she has not acknowledged it. She has. In fact, you guys are going to hear it yourself. She literally mentions it herself publicly in this video. So when we listen to this, you're going to hear her specifically say her PL in this video. So it's one-on-one. It's 100% linked together there. You can connect the dots, right? There's no, my name is not Docs Akuma here. This is very clear. And let me read some of these super chats before we kick off and we listen to the words from her side. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to look at some clips, some screen caps from the documents she sent me, because I received some documents from her in relation to this. In fact, I reviewed both her contract, which we will not be looking at, and her contract, as well as the document with costs that I will be talking about, the bills, right? I'll be talking about that as well. But let's get these super chats first, because I want to catch up. Dobry wieczór, my friend. Yes. It's very late in the evening here, but thank you, my homies. Cześć to my friends over there in Poland. Appreciate y'all. Silbury says, if you went off the cuff with a certain someone from yesterday's live, I would consider that exploitive, but I respect you for not doing that. Yeah, no, I think the thing is, especially with people in the I know chat has the best intentions, and I really appreciate that. But you got to understand, I've had people in my chat impersonating folks. I've had people in the chat saying wrong facts, right? We talked about the video Sink the Yacht, where somebody in the chat just the other day said, oh, this person is a mod, and they're just wrong, right? And because that's not true. And the artist actually reached out because I accidentally said that. Not that it would matter. That guy was a great artist, whether he was a mod or not, and he's not a mod, right? So people will say stuff that's incorrect. It happens, right? Which is why I, take it with a grain of salt. And, if the balance of chat, if a bunch of chat is saying something that's probably true, but, I have to confirm that myself. I have to vet that information. And of course, a talent could send me something, or somebody could email me something and provide further proof, further information that would allow me to make a better assessment. This is why I try to look at things a little bit more holistically to get a better picture of them, rather than just take one statement or comment in isolation. Well, I like to kind of look at a more broad picture here. But thank you for that, Silbury. Appreciate that. SEA gang here. What's up, Southeast Asia? No sleep or collapse. What's up, Indonesia? I had somebody reach out to me saying they want to move to either Indonesia or Thailand. So I'm giving them the pros and cons of both. Every country has pros and cons. Whalery, recommend Tomorrow, Ina said. I've watched that one. I've watched it multiple times. In fact, we've watched it on this channel multiple times. But I will pull that up again. I know it's 5 seconds, and we'll play it towards the end. Okay, how about that? Let's see. Wainonome says, have you ever considered doing a stream with a YouTubers in the YouTube community, but not one themselves, say Coefficient? Be a collab, but chill. Yeah, I do a lot of collabs with folks that are not in the VTuber community, and I will. So don't worry about that. It just depends on what they want to do and talk about. Typically, since I cover news and I cover more broader topics, I just like to talk to people about things. I love anime, I love gaming, especially JRPGs, but yeah, no, I like a lot of topics to talk about. Also can just talk about general stuff. Happy to have more chill streams, and I do enjoy a chill stream every once in a while. But when the news is kind of coming out and there's something to talk about, I tend to cover the news because I want to bring that good information and education to you guys as it's coming out, or at least give you a better analysis of something that may have been breaking news and give you a little bit more thoughtful analysis of the issue. Rhythms says, gonna go to sleep. Legal mindset. If you're asking for consent, it's like you are a professional gentleman. Shout out to professional gentleman in the chat. Professional gentleman was having an existential crisis of like, why am I a mod? Why am I a mod? I'm like, dude, you're a mod because you're in here every time, you're paying attention, you're a professional, you're polite, and you can answer people's questions easily, right? It's really great to have people that are like that. Also, shout out to my other mod, Danielle, who's been around for a while and has been working her butt off. The mods are great. Really appreciate you guys helping out. It helps me run the show. I couldn't do it without the mods, keeping things straight. Tharja says, I just subbed to her on her alt and was like, what the fuck? She graduated? She got billed? If I had a nickel for every time this happened, I'd have 2 nickels, which is the exact earning of a Niji Liver. Oh, no. No. Oh, man. So, but yes, I do agree with professional gentleman. Based genial is based. It's very true. It's very factually accurate. All right. So we're going to start here with her words. So this is coming from her. This is about, I believe, let me double check here. I think this is about 20 minutes ish. So about 20 minutes till she fully spills the tea. So we'll strap in. Of course, this video, I will put it in the chat now, and I will put it in the description as well, so you guys can also follow along here. But we're starting at about 50 minutes in.
Bruh. Listen, it's time to spill the tea now, all right? We got to get serious. All right. I'm letting you guys know right now. I'm gonna be spilling some tea here. And before I begin, I'd like to do a disclaimer. Because I have to be responsible when it comes to this stuff. Serious stories make me sad. Listen, it has a happy ending. I promise. It does have a happy ending.
And by the way, speaking to her like now, she is in such a good place, and she's such a positive person that I really think that's an accurate thing of saying it is a positive ending to this. A very, very positive ending to this. And yeah, she does have a really great voice. And I think she's got the energy and she's got the attitude to be successful in the long run. So I do wish, Ali, the alien here, I do wish her the best of luck in the future. I think she's going to do great. Audio Inject, welcome as a member. Appreciate you joining the BLM, the best membership out there. Thank you so much. And Coyote Trickster with 10 legal mindset memberships. Guys, get that gift membership. Make sure you've got accept gift memberships turned on so you can receive those as well. Thank you so much, Coyote Trickster, for being absolutely goated today. Thank you.
For fucking me. So, and that's the only person that matters.
She also has a little she's a little unfiltered, which I like. I like my unfiltered waifus. They're really great. Respect them a lot.
Before I begin, disclaimer not to go after this company. You know, I don't want to start anything, but I feel as if you guys who knew me as Serafi need to know what happened and why there were certain promises and conditions that I gave you guys that I could not meet. And basically what happened to me, because I feel like you guys deserve to know. Wait a minute, you're back? I am. We're having serious story time on like why I'm back, basically.
Okay, so I'll actually add to this disclaimer after speaking to her. This show, she wanted to be very clear. It's going to be obvious which agency we're talking about, and like it's very obvious based on if you look at her company, which agency we're talking about here. And to be very clear, we'll get back to that in a second. But to be very clear, the agency we're talking about is VNU, right? Because if you were to go over here and check out her her page, right? You can look, okay, Amano Serafi, right? Okay, who is she with? Boom, VNU, right? So there's the VNU official Twitter, which is, you know, right here. And then this company here, VNU, you can look her up. You can find the members, and you can easily find here, okay, their first gen, here's their first gen, Symphoria at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, 2 of which are retired. And then boom, you've got here Amoria and Amano Serafi, which are over here, right? And the second gen, they still don't have her marked as retired. Then you've got a launch of another 5 here. So you can kind of get those out there very, very easily. So yeah, it's a big thing. It's a big thing. So it's a it's definitely something that will be clear. And now I know she doesn't mention the agency, but why she doesn't mention that, and the big thing that that we want to make clear here is that the other livers, the other VTubers are not culpable here. So essentially, say like what she's saying is don't bother the other livers, don't bother the other VTubers, don't go over there and like take it out on the company, etc. Like that's not what she wants, right? And she certainly doesn't want, you know, people going in there and flaming them, because I mean, kind of what's the solution is already positive, so they don't need to be like openly waged war on, right? What is more important here is the information getting out and the message getting out to help young people, to help small livers or small YouTuber VTubers. I've been covering Niji Sanji so much that like I have to get liver out of my head every single time I say it. I just feel
Disgusting.
But yeah, obviously the VTubers, the smaller VTubers, other folks that are just coming up, they're the ones that we're trying to help here. And that's what she wants to help here with her message, right? Is the smaller folks, the people coming up, the people thinking of signing to an agency. That's the positive side. So that's where she wants you to focus, not on like attacking people to get justice or whatever else, right? So yeah, just that's the full disclaimer there.
I'm sure there's reasons.
Be thoughtful, don't be a dick. All right, I'm going to summarize it as that. Dobre Vichor, good evening from Slovakia, 6 p.m. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Just be respectful for everybody involved. I'm not going to use names, except for the people that know. For the people that know, they're going to know.
It's obvious what the agency is.
So when I left as Ally, I graduated to join a VTuber company. If you know, you know. Yeah, if you know, you know. So I joined said VTuber company, and I re-debuted as a punk angel named Amano Serafi, and I'll just tell you guys that's who I was. You can put two together if you're smart enough. So I was a punk angel named Amano Serafi. Punk is right, yeah. I was a punk. So I'm pretty sure that like all my stuff, like it's on YouTube. I streamed on YouTube. So if you ever want to go back and like watch those VODs and stuff like that, just to kind of see what I've been up to, so you can kind of like keep up with me, you can, obviously. So after my birthday stream, because we did celebrate my birthday together, we did a subathon. My mental health took a very, very big decline. It was more so I was very overwhelmed and wondering if I was even doing good or bad. Hang on, what's my phone at? Okay. I just want to make sure I don't lose tracking on my phone. I don't have it plugged in.
It always is funny when I see VTubers and they'll just like randomly lose tracking in the middle. I mean, that is actually kind of funny. That is actually kind of funny.
But I got very overwhelmed because I hated that I had to stop the my subathon early, and I kind of felt like I was failing. So I took a week off, and then all of a sudden, my managers wanted to talk to me. So I was like, okay. So I had a couple of meetings with said managers.
That's never good when your manager's like, let's come in and have a talk, right? That's never too good. Never too good.
And I basically had 2 streams that they had a problem with because apparently to them, I was promoting hate speech, I was promoting eating disorders, and I never was. These streams were Class of 09 and South Park: The Stick of Truth.
Okay, so like there were 2 streams that she did that allegedly were promoting hate speech somehow. And if I recall, or if I remember correctly, I think these were like some of her more popular ones. They were like up there in the popularity videos. So like they were asking her to do these types of videos because if you go back and you go to her channel right now, it's not clear exactly how they were doing that, right? But if you look at her channel and you sort by popularity, let me go here, popular, right? And here you go. So you got Class of 09 there, 19K views, which is really good for the size of channel that she has. It's actually really good. And then Stick of Truth at 6.5K, which is up there. It's top 8 in terms of popularity. So like obviously these are very popular streams, right? Like very, very popular streams. So yeah, that's the type of content that generally they would encourage you to do, right? Also, they must have gotten perms beforehand to do that because obviously with any company, as you know, you get perms before you do stuff. So clearly the perms were granted. It was just not a problem with doing that actual content. It was an issue with, I guess, whatever her take was, right? Which is very, very interesting. Very interesting. Now, to be very clear, VNU, the agency, is a Korean agency, which is very interesting because I lived in Korea for 3 years. And one thing I will tell you about Korea is oftentimes they are very, 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 very hierarchical. In certain corporations, they think even more so than Japan. Those that may be familiar with Japan, Nijisanji, Korea can often be more hierarchical. And in many cases, especially with their legal system, because I have assisted with some Americans that were having legal disputes, particularly with their Korean English schools. And some of the things they can try to do in lawsuits are insane. And technically they can try to do them, even though they probably won't work even in Korea, but they can try some pretty nuts things. So we're going to see kind of one of the things they tried to do, which I think is pretty insane, but it may be kind of par for the course for like a bad company that is operating out of Asia, right? So, similar to Japan, similar to Niji. So we're going to see that here in a second. Mozzie, thank you so much for the 20 Legal Mindset memberships. Appreciate that. Thank you. And the Red Hammer says, because South Park is always hate speech, but then why approve it, right? If you stream that and that was approved and it was approved for you to do that type of content and people liked it, and then you get mad because it's a South Park that said something naughty. Well, that's every South Park. Like if one South Park is offensive, all South Parks are offensive, right? Because South Park is meant to be edgy. It's meant to be spicy. Now, whether or not South Park is still as edgy as it used to be is up for debate, right? We can debate that. I used to watch old school South Park, and I think it's changed. I think old school South Park used to not pull punches. I think they do pull punches now because we're in a different world. But that's more of a spectrum thing. Like it's okay. They're still on the spectrum of edgy. They're still edgy by today's standards. It's just the standards have changed. Messier of 45 said, just emailed you a Shondo video to be perfect reaction, 10 seconds, subject mega based. Oh, you mean this?
Not as in, I cannot absolve you. Mega based.
I love it. I love it. Promoting hate speech and eating disorders by playing games that they signed off on. Yeah, that tracks. Exactly. This is where I have such a problem with this. And this is where I think management can get abusive. And this is something that I see in the East happen where they tell you to do something and then they yell at you for doing it. That's the definition. And it's not, by the way, it's not just in the East. I've seen it outside of that. I've seen it in America. I've seen bosses go off in America when they tell you to do something, you do it and it fails. And it's like, well, you told me to do it. So if you told me to do it, you need to take responsibility for telling me to do it that way, right? That's the thing right there. But yeah. By the way, I love this. Django's Fat says, I hate that I never watched Shondo before LM started doing eclipse. Now I'm really heavily Shondo pilled. Hold on, that deserves
Not as in, I cannot absolve you. Mega based.
Very, very mega based. Very mega based. Welcome, Red Hammer. Welcome to the BLM, the highest level of the Legal Mindset membership. Thank you so much. Hell Pike says, step 1, raise impossible standards. Step 2, selectively enforce it to get around employment law. Yep. It's the black corporation shuffle, right? And we're going to see more of it here. We're not done yet. Just strap in.
And before we get into this, those VODs did very, very well. And of course, everybody knows with YouTube, if a VOD does well, you get money for it, right? You get money. And I was praised for these VODs. Like I was told, oh my gosh, Serafi, you did very well. You know, like even with Class of 09, I was told to change the thumbnail. I was told to change the thumbnail so that way it would have more views. And then all of a sudden,
let me look at the thumbnail real quick. That looks like, yeah, it looks like a good thumbnail. This looks like a good thumbnail. Hold on, let's review. Let's do a little thumbnail review real quick on the. I guess they updated it, but like this is a good thumbnail. This is a very good thumbnail because with a thumbnail, look, I'm always trying to improve. I do my own thumbnails, but I try to keep the images pretty clear. I'm sure to make sure the text is clear. But this is a pretty good thumbnail. This is a very good, clear thumbnail. Now I know a lot of you. Let's see. Have you guys, I don't even know anything about Class of 09. I assume it's a game. Like is Class of 09 good? I don't even know what this is. So I'd yes, no, and hell no. Right? Or then I'll put like haven't played it. Or don't know about it. Don't know. Okay. I'll add four categories for you. 4 categories for you. Right? It's a game, a Kirsha game. It's a Kirsha and Pippa simulator. It's a visual novel. Watch Kirsha play it. It's edgy. Yes, I like how Legal Minds came across VTubing. Now it's taking Cannonball deep end. Yes, indeed. We are riding this out all the way down the rabbit hole. Okay, it's a cursed game. Kirsha popularized it. Very edgy. Okay. Interesting. Keychain says, Liver Mindset, first time ever super chatting. These streams have been great to pass the time at work. Greatly respect your dedication. No problem. I really enjoy this, and I feel like I am learning along with you guys, but I am learning something different. I am learning the facts. You guys are learning more of the law, the procedure, the professional side. Like you guys are learning, I'm learning. We're having fun, which is the most important thing. Also, Heath Nelson said, sounds like railroads having crews do PSR. Wait, what's PSR? Heath? Public relations, like public PSR, public safety? PSR. Yeah, I don't know what PSR is, but thank you for that, Keith. Regardless. Let's say it's the first Kirsha type game, Hideo Kojima. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Does that just mean that it's
Not as in, I cannot absolve you. Mega based.
is that all? It's just a is it a based game? I don't know. Mark say one may say that legal mindset is diving into the deep end of the Yabbit hole. Hey-o, we're going all in on the Yabbit. We are going to skeet with that Yabbit when we talk about the high crimes of Pippa Pipkin. We're going to talk about that on a very fun stream with we got 2 confirmed guests for show, which will be Gator and Cody. So we're going to have 2 good people joining them for that one. And we may have a third as well. So we'll see. Genesis, welcome as a new member. Welcome to the membership. Make sure to use those emojis as well as the member chats. Okay. Let's continue.
I was reprimanded for it. And there was other things going on behind the scenes that I particularly didn't like. When you join a company, a lot of people know this. When you join a company, you join because these people are there to help you. They are there to help you grow, and they are there to help you learn how to be your best. Like they take the best of you and make it better. And, they help you spread your name and what you have. This company did not do that.
So this is,
and I know that
this is what I want to cover real quick. Guys, this is what I want to kind of dissuade people of. There is this idea. There's this idea of what I would call, we had the American dream, America, fuck yeah. Where you're going to come in, you're going to get, the white picket fence and the house and the 2.5 kids or whatever it is, and you're going to have a job in an office and it's going to be swell. And they're going to give you a golden watch after you've worked there for 20 years and all that stuff. Well, there's the VTuber dream, and we're not boomers, right? We're not in the American dream era. We're in the VTuber era. Everyone wants to be a content creator. Specifically, everyone wants to be a VTuber, and they want to be a big VTuber who becomes an idol, right? They just want to be an idol with all eyes on me. I'm not going to say Pippa the Ripper right now. I feel like it's in my head though. I'm going to save the Pippa the Ripper for the later stream. But that said, in fact, I think we may have to intro with Pippa the Ripper. I'm just saying. But people have this idea of what they're going to be when they become a VTuber. And, a lot of people, they just want it to happen without actually putting in the work. And they think that by just signing with an agency, that will magically make them happy, will magically make it easy. It'll be just you'll automatically be an idol. You're going to make it big. It's going to be great. Well, that's not the truth. The truth is not that you will be able to make it big as a VTuber just because you sign. Well, you can sign and then you can get screwed over. You can sign and you can never really pop off. You can sign and not have the dedication to do it. You could sign and just be streaming a type of content that maybe that's oversaturated. Maybe you can just be doing something that everybody else is doing. So it's really hard to break into that market where it's really hard to do something like that. You're not doing something different. You're not offering anything special. You're just offering the same thing. And that's not necessarily your fault. I'm just saying that, you should be very careful with your VTuber dream, especially if you are signing a contract that is ridiculous. That is really, really dangerous for you. And here's the other thing. When the agency is holding the bag, when they are the ones that are going to make the money and they are going to only pay you out at the end of the month after the money's already in, well, guess what? They can always take a month of your salary, right? So at any point, the income that you make can be subject to confiscation. They've got that kind of gun to your head. So there's a lot of risk, not just from yourself personally, because obviously it takes work, it takes time, it takes dedication, right? You actually have to work, guys. It's not easy. A lot of people think content creation, whether it's VTuber or even streaming in general, people think it's easy. I'm here to tell you right now, it's not easy. Now, I'm not Hassan. I'm not going to complain that we're out here working like we're in, the 1800s in a coal mine, right? This is luxurious compared to decades past, compared to many other jobs. There's many hard jobs out there that are far harder than being a streamer. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, if you want to be good at it, you actually have to put in work. And on top of that, you have to develop a niche and some skills, right? You're going to have to do that. I'm just being real with you. I know everybody else is going to gas you up and they're going to tell you it's going to be fine. You're going to do great. No, you will not do great. And I know this is something that maybe no one's going to tell you. And maybe you guys are going to call up and be like,
Hello, Beso Department.
but listen, Papa Andrew's got to tell it to you real right now. You got to put in the work and you got to do the work. And if you see successful streamers, we're going to even talk about Pippa, right? Pippa's a grinder. That girl grinds. She works her butt off. I'm looking at other content creators, even small ones. They're working hard. They're developing. They're pushing themselves. They're developing a niche. They're developing an opinion. They're filling a void in the space. They're putting out something of maximum value. So you're going to have to work hard if you want to be that. Don't think that these people that get on, that these idols that have 1 million or 2 million are not putting in work. I've watched a lot of them now, and they're extraordinarily talented. And the diversity of things they can do is really, really impressive to me. So just throwing that out there. Denny, welcome as a new member, Denny Mass. Appreciate you. And not everybody is cut out to be a streamer, guys. And just because you're not cut out to be a streamer does not mean you don't have intrinsic value, right? There's other things you can do other than streaming. And guess what? You know what you could do? Maybe you could do something that supports streamers. Maybe you could do something. Maybe you could start your own business. Maybe you could start your own agency. Maybe you could provide a service. Maybe you're an artist. Maybe you can help with the technology. There's other things you can do, that don't have to be directly streaming, right? Maybe you can help out with merch. Maybe you can start a drop shipping company for VTubers, whatever, right? Just whatever you're doing, right? You can do something else too. It doesn't have to be just streaming. You can be part of it. You can start a convention. Whatever. There's so many things to do. You can be a mod, right? You can just be a fan as well. And sometimes, guys, when you do something as a job, it changes your love for it. And this part she makes about the VTuber dream, it really hits me because I hate to see people go into something with unrealistic expectations because they've never had anybody tell them, because they've never had anybody be real with them, because everybody's just gassed them up. You can do it if you're willing to put in the work, but it's hard work, guys. It's not easy. Why not make your own VTuber channel? Let you know. I mean, I already have a channel. This is my channel right now, and this channel is a result of a lot of hard work and a lot of time and a lot of research and a lot of gray hairs, but it's worth it, right? Because I enjoy working and I enjoy what I do, but it's not for everybody. There's a lot of legal streamers that do law that are no longer streaming anymore, that don't do streams, So just saying. Junglex says Class of 09 is a story of a teenage girl with a horrid view of men, while at the same time being the most toxic person in a school of toxic. It's kind of hard if you're in a toxic school to be the most toxic. Feels like I need to play it. That might be great. Class of 09 got big after Kirsha got Pippa, then FaZe to play it. Bao eventually played it. Should I do a playthrough on that? I guess I'll watch Kirsha and then I'll see how much it would enrage me. That might be hilarious. He says PSR stands for Precision Schedule Railroading. Oh, okay, thanks. It's where the railroad builds trains to around 12,000 feet trains and crews telling them that it would not work. Look up East Palestine, Ohio. Ah, got you. Yes. We all know the accident in East Palestine. Ohio. Parasite VTuber company like a loan shark. They can be. Ed says the same people who champion Class of 09 for being an in-your-face with how edgy it is now think its content is unacceptable and shouldn't be consumed by anyone. No one is allowed to have fun. Yeah, that's the sad thing, and that's what I push back against. And we're going to talk about that on the Pippa episode, but I am very much against the war on fun, where nobody is allowed to have fun, nobody's allowed to have jokes. Sorry, we're not going to do that here. We're not going to do that. I'm just going to be here hanging out with you guys, hanging out with all the
Degenerates. You guys degenerates.
And I wouldn't have you any other way. The chat reflects the streamer. Let's put it over here. Supernova J Bombastic said it's all about the repeat of the golden age of Hollywood. What's that, Mr. Tsuzumi? You want to offer me 2% merch in return for my soul? Where do I sign? Yeah, it is. You're very much Supernova. You're on point here. This is why, especially covering Disney, VTubing kind of rang out to me because it's at a different phase, right? It's coming into its golden age, but along with that age comes exploitation. Really does come exploitation. HoloLive says, I worked retail before. So did I. Guys, want me to tell you a secret? Let me tell you a little secret here. I worked illegally at one point. Don't tell anybody. Shh, don't tell anybody. Don't tell any thousands of workers. Shh, 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 shh. When I was underage, I was doing construction work. I did like painting, pressure cleaning. I actually, as a minor, I think I scraped lead paint, which probably is like a statutory violation or like labor law violation. Of course, the statute of limitations is run on that. And the person who I worked for has now passed away. So good luck suing them as an employer, quote unquote. But yeah, no, I've been working my entire life and I respect hard work a lot. I remember saving and I was paid illegally $7 an hour for like the most, it was like in the Florida sun work. It was rough. It was rough. But honestly, I'm glad I did it because I know that people say this as a meme, but I truly, genuinely believe it built character, right? I truly believe that. It was a interesting part of my life, and then I've worked selling things. I've worked as a waiter, bartender. I've done all that stuff. I've taken complaints from customers, and I think it's a good perspective to have to really get in some work and do some different sorts of work, not think you're above somebody. I don't think I'm above anybody because I'm a lawyer, right? I've done all those forms of work. So I have empathy for those people too, which is why I have so much empathy for the content creators, because I know what they're thinking, right? I know what they're thinking. And I know how people take your dreams and they pervert them, right? They use your dreams to abuse you and take advantage of you. And that's what I don't stand for. RPF says, I'm sorry I'm late. Which company we're talking about? V and U. We're talking about V and U right now. And the case of Amano Serafi. So yeah, but thank you and thank you for thank you saying it's obvious you guys work hard to make people happy and give value. It's what I try to do, and that's what I like to collaborate with people that also try to have the same perspective. Ultimate Slacker says, not sure if you've seen Pippa react to the AI use of president. It's funny to watch on the downtime. Okay, Pippa react to AI US president. Okay, well, considering I need to stream on Pippa, I will have that one pulled up. Zoc says girls and others signing companies instead of making their own VTube content. Is that what I'm thinking? Don't know the VTube world rules. Degenerate. Yes, 100%. Yeah, and look, there's a lot of benefits to going indie because you don't have the same level of control, right? Because they're not breathing down your neck. You may not get the bump in popularity that you might get otherwise, right? Because you'll get a bump in popularity from being in a organization and being in an agency, but you will have full freedom. So you got to think about the pros and cons. But let's continue with this.
I was not the only girl who had these problems.
So the problems we're going to talk about, she has made it clear that she is not the only one, but she doesn't want to get anybody else involved. So just being clear that she's not alone, but she's not trying to drag other people into this, right? So once again, please respect other VTubers and, please understand there's people working at the company and they still need to work at that company. So just understand that.
A manager to me is supposed to go over like your analytics, tell you like your, like your best videos, like, hey, this content slaps, keep doing this content. I had to learn all of that on my own. I had to learn how to read YouTube analytics on my own. I had to learn what VODs did better on my own. I had to learn what games did better. I never had help. I would have weekly meetings, but these weekly meetings were never about, hey, let's go over your analytics. Hey, let's go over this. Hey, let's go over that. I had to learn by myself, and I asked for help. I was like, hey, we need to get on this. I was told no.
So real quick, this is actually a very common problem. Many times companies will promise you training and support, and they'll be like, they don't have any time to do it. So they don't spend any time on training and support. This is a big problem, right? So, and by the way, I know people are asking, who is this? This is Alien Mixture, who is acknowledged, and you'll see it here again, acknowledging her PL of Amano Serafi and the issues she was having as Amano Serafi, right? So,
and after a while, I got fed up. I got fed up with the fact that I was basically on my own. And there's a lot of things that happened, and I don't really want to get into it because, like I said, I don't want to make it a big deal because I'm away from that now. But I just told them straight up, I was like, I want to graduate. Like, I don't want to be with you guys anymore. Like, I want to leave. Like, I wanted to leave peacefully. I just kind of wanted to be like, hey, I
like this comment in her chat. Do you see this, guys? Like this person was commented, oh, is VU run by any color? Bro. That comment is
Not a sin. I cannot absolve you. Mega based.
Thank you for that reaction, by the way. Thank you for sending me that reaction. You guys have been really great with the reactions. Just gotta say. I get new great reactions all the day. I have right now, let me count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15 reactions that are just for VTuber stuff. It's great.
don't want to work here anymore. And I know that I'm ripping my contract early, right? And I knew that. What baffled me the most is that they were basically like, okay, in order for you to leave, you need to give us a large sum of money. And I'm going to say it was past 100,000. That's all I'm going to say. It was past $100,000 that I needed to.
I have the exact numbers and we're going to get into it. It's a lot more than that. We're going to get into it. It's a lot. Right. And she granted my permission to go over certain numbers with you guys. Right. So this is me. Yeah. I'm going to be dropping the numbers in a second. The numbers are nuts. The numbers are absolutely nuts. So just saying.
To pay them back. And nobody in their lifetime has that money. Like nobody has she'd be a little hyperbolic. I mean, you could have that money, but it would be a lifetime of savings. So let me just get into the real total. This is going to really blank you guys here. So this is the actual total here. So the total, not to bury the lead, I want to give you guys the total here. I'm going to increase size here so you guys see this. This is crazy. Now, mind you, this is in Korean won, right? So in Korean won, now, mind you guys, one USD is 1,300 won. So understand this is won, right? But yeah, that is a massive amount. And in case you're curious, how much is 605 billion won? Because you might be thinking, oh, well, what is that like? Is it like a Vietnamese currency that's like really overvalued? Like, what is this like? What is this number? No. If you go over and you convert that, and we'll go over here to a nice handy dandy Google, right? And convert it on Google, you can see that 605 million won is 450,000 US dollars, 452,000 US dollars. So over 450K, almost $500,000 US dollars, right? So 605 million, almost $500,000 US, a little bit under 450K. I'm just going to say for purposes, almost $500,000, 450K. That is nuts. That is ridiculous. And by the way, we're going to go into some of the numbers. They definitely cook the books. I can say this because I actually lived in Korea, as you guys know, for 3 years. We'll look at some statistics, some other stuff, but I know what the wages are there. I know how much you pay for stuff. And in addition, just to be very clear, the minimum wage is just under what they call manwon, which is 10,000 won, right? It's 9,600 won. Right, just zoom in real quick. This is the minimum wage in Korea, right? You have about 10,000 won per hour, right? Daily minimum wage if you work 8 hours is 76, and minimum wage if you work 40 hours a week is 2 million, about 2 million won.
So that's if you work 40 hours a week, right? So just understand that. Just okay. So we're gonna get those basic numbers in there. Now, once again, understand that $1 is 1,300. So 960 and 9620. If you convert that, let's just do that math real quick. 9620. 9620 won to USD. So that's about $7.20. So it's actually a little bit less than even Niji Sanji. So I know you guys were wondering about the minimum wage and wondering about all this stuff. Yeah, the minimum wage in Korea is about $7.20 an hour. Now, understand that Korea, you can get some stuff for cheaper, right, than in the US. But it still is pretty rough living on that. Still pretty rough. A lot of people that work what's called in Korea alba jobs, which are jobs at like GS25, convenience stores, things like that. They're getting paid this wage, the $7.20 an hour, right? So, but Korea is a land of extremes. There's cheap stuff and there's stuff that's really, 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 really expensive. There's a lot of issues with stuff being expensive, particularly housing. Housing is one of those things that's near unaffordable. Now, to be very clear, the agency is in South Korea, but she is an American. I can confirm that, not Korean, right? So this is very, very relevant here. That this is an agency based out of Seoul, South Korea. I actually know where their office is. Ironically, it's in Mapo, right? Which is a district that's kind of near the party area, which is like Hongdae, Shincheon, like area in Seoul. It's one of the popular for like young people partying. So yeah, they're in Korea. She's in America. So she's not there. She's not under that jurisdiction.
Like they paid me, right? Like I got paid. So it's not like I was poor, but I didn't have that much money. And of course they were just like, you know, like in order for you to leave, you need to do that.
So here's their statement. In order for you to graduate, you need to pay that amount, right? So once again, for her to graduate, they're saying to graduate her officially, she needs to pay this. That she needs to pay that. She needs to pay this bill. That would be called slavery or indentured servitude at a certain point. It's definitely what you would call unconscionable under the US standard. It's laughable to say, well, you cannot quit unless you pay this. Yeah, no. That's not how it works. Like that is not how it works. So professional gentleman, the mod said it right here. That's 300 months of work at the minimum wage. Are you kidding me? That's slavery. That's what you would call slavery. At that point, we're going full Shield Hero on this. Is that too edgy? My Shield Hero reference. People in the back like...
Not a sin. I cannot absolve you. Mega based.
No, but seriously though, that's ridiculous to say you cannot leave unless you pay that. Now, I will say, if a job does actually have an agreement with you that you're going to pay back something or pay back costs, etc., then it might be possible. But they have to be actual costs that are really related to the damages they suffered, and they have to less out or remove any benefit they received. So, yes, for example, if you had a contract with somebody and you were going to perform a role or perform a task for them and you left it halfway, well, and they already paid you, then, well, they could demand money back from you or demand you return some money or demand that maybe you offset some of their damages, but they have to be actual numbers. And there's no way in hell this shit is real. This stuff is completely made up, right? It's just stuff that they're pulled out of nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. I like to spell it. Furian Arya, who says, remember to like the stream, guys. This man is bringing in more awareness for your Oshi's legal protection and to avoid exploitation. Free consultation, no free consultation. This is not a consultation in any legal sense of the word. This is just general information for the general education of the public, because it is a net public good for people to understand things. This is not a private consultation, right? I offer private conversations for people who pay me, but I do not do consultations officially one-on-one in a legal capacity via public streams. It's not how it works. So let's see here. The only upside of an agency is the name behind it. Though now most companies are leeches, numerous, and it sucks. Name is pronounced Valrogue Larfox, by the way. Valrouge, Lafox, Lafo. Lafo? Oh, okay. Larfox, okay, whatever. Okay, whatever you want me to call you. Valrogue Lafox. Okay, gotcha, brother. But yeah, the companies can be leeches for sure. The Red Hammer says, do they think they're an NBA superstar? But even with an NBA superstar, imagine if the Chicago Bulls, when like Michael Jordan left to play baseball, tried to hit him with this bill, he would flip him the middle finger and tell him to talk to their lawyer. There's no way that would be enforceable. As a company, you have to take on risk. And guys, don't interpret this wrong. I'm not anti-company. In many cases, there'll be instances where I do not take the company's side, but I try to explain their reasoning. But in this case, it's a company that's saying, well, you know, we don't take any responsibility for hiring you. We don't take any responsibility for what we put into you and what we invest, right? We don't take any risk. Well, sorry, that's business. You're supposed to risk. And if you think that somebody is going to leave, well, then you should have hired better. I'm sorry, right? You're not doing a good enough auditioning process. You're not hiring good enough. If you think that the person is the problem, well, then it's on you for hiring better, hire better, screen better, right? Go through a longer process, go through a training process, whatever you need to do to filter out better, to filter out for the type of people you're looking for. That's on you. Companies are trying to put all the risk on the employees, and that's fucked up. That's fucked up. I'm not anti-corporation, but I'm not a corporate simp. And a lot of people, particularly on YouTube, are giant corporate simps. They are giant mega corporate simps. And that's just not me. It ain't going to happen. Ain't going to happen. Void said, just work as a $7.40 Niji lawyer for 7 years to graduate. 7 years of slavery, 7 years of 24/7 work, that is. Yeah, if you don't sleep, Void, yes. Jay says, unrelated, but Niji Sanji Ian's Claude Clawmark confirmed that Niji kept the play buttons at the office. Interesting. I would hope they never, ever lose those. Sona, the sweet says, so buying out her own contract would be more in line with 10,000 US dollars to do all the benefits shit for the company. No, it's more. It's literally almost $500,000. Sona, I'll pull it up again for you here. But this is $500,000. Okay. So that's how much she needed to stop working. They're trying to claim that. And so one reason why I was very sympathetic to this is I actually worked in Korea. And like I said, I worked with a individual who worked for a Hagwon. Hagwons are Korean English schools where they teach English to kids. And this was a friend of mine. They were working there. And I was helping them from an American side, and they got a Korean lawyer to help on the Korean side. And when they left their Hagwon, they were being billed by that Hagwon for housing. But housing was included as part of the package. So they tried to charge them for housing that was included with the benefit package of working at that. So they tried to charge them for rent, essentially. And also for like other damages they said they expended, right? And I looked at it, I'm like, no, you offered that as part of the package of teaching. And they taught, for example, between like August and December, and they left in like the end of December. So I'm like, they taught during that time, so you can't charge them rent, right? That was part of your contract. It never said you're going to charge them for back rent. But they tried to do this in Korea. They submitted a bill much like this. So when I see this, I'm like, oh, this is similar. This is very similar. Now, that shit would not fly in America. That would not fly in our legal system. And you can always have a demand letter that has demands that are unreasonable, but I'm calling them on their bluff. I'm calling them on the bluff that this is not a reasonable demand. And certainly in an American court, you could wipe your butt with it. You could throw it in the trash. This would never, ever, ever happen. And it would never be upheld by an American court. Zamda, what's up? Jamda says, as a Korean, I can say that the amount is totally ridiculous. That's like lottery winnings amount of money. Thank you. 감사합니다. I am, and by the way, guys, I love Korea. I would gladly go back to Korea. I love living there, but I did work for myself. I worked for myself. I didn't work for any company or anything else. I kind of lived my own life, did my own thing, which is why I was so happy in Korea. Because if you're doing your own thing, it's actually a fantastic place to live. I really love Korea a lot for many reasons. And I love Korean people. It's really had a great time there. But once again, I'm just because I love a place doesn't mean I'm above like standing for it in some crazy Fujoshi way where, it's like, oh, we got to protect our Oshi. No, I'm going to be real with you and say, no, there's a lot of good things I love about Korea, but here's one company, which may not be typical of most companies, but this one shitty company pulling this shitty move. And it's a very, very toxic move, but it's not the only company. There are other companies that do it. Like I said, the Hagwons I've seen do it. Which is pretty bad. Sona says, no, I meant with you where saying it should be. Wait, what you're saying it should be. Hold on, let me go back here because I killed the other comment. Okay, so your other comment was, with me. Yes, okay, I get what you're saying. It should be, right? It should be a much lower amount. Like, okay, her model costs something. So if they wanted to try to bill her for her model, okay, maybe a couple $1,000s, right? Maybe it was an expensive one, maybe $10,000, but not hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? And by the way, if they're going to bill her for the model, well, then she should get the rights to it, right? There's no way I would pay for a model unless I am getting the rights to use it afterwards. So if I'm paying for it, then yeah, I need the model. Justin T, welcome as a member. Appreciate you, brother. Tharja said, to what Claude said about the play buttons, he also said, if we wanted the play buttons, we would ask for them. Then why out of 200 livers hasn't anyone? They haven't. Nobody has them. They've only taken pictures with them in the Niji office. Music and Fiction says, as a former Korean ESL teacher, the only reason why we foreigners were able to live over there was because schools paid for our housing. Housing's awful. Yes. Thank you, Music and Fiction. And I know we've talked before. You're a good friend of the channel. This is a real fact here, right? The housing needs to be included. It's part of the contract. But they try to hold that above you as well as the visa. And in Korea, the visa works differently, where if you lose your job, you have to find another one within 14 days for ESL, for English teaching. It's a little bit different than Japan. Anthony says, sounds like she should say, I'm from America. You come get me. Yagoo, best girl. Well, Anthony, no spoilers, but perhaps that's exactly what this based alien girl ended up doing. Let's listen to the rest of her story. We're not done yet. We're not done.
I was like, So, of course,
she said no.
I got with a lawyer. And of course,
She got with a lawyer, guys. She got with a lawyer. She did it.
Not as in, I cannot absolve you. Mega based.
Exactly what you need to do, guys. This is it. You're in a trouble. You're in a pickle. You're in a spot. You get a freaking big bill. Call a lawyer, guys. She did it. She lawyered up. This is a small VTuber. She's not a baller. She's not out here on Elon Musk money. She's not out here, on the Bill Gates money, whatever else is, the Rockefeller money. She's small, but she's smart. She went and got a lawyer. Very, very smart girl. And not only that, but listen to the Chad Maximus lawyer that she ended up getting. Listen to this. This is great.
I didn't want to get a lawyer involved because, that's really scary, right? Like, this is like my first time having to go through that stuff. What is this contract? I'm getting there because my lawyer said the exact same thing.
I've seen it.
I got with a lawyer. I told him what was up. And thankfully, he was very, very knowledgeable in stuff like this. He dealt with like businesses from American businesses basically working with, overseas businesses. So he was very, very knowledgeable about this.
Okay, so what did she do? Pay attention to what she did. She got a specialist lawyer that had worked with companies overseas. Exactly what you need to do. You need to find somebody that knows about that, that's dealt with overseas companies, that's done business overseas, that understands how these things go in the practical reality of it, right? Very, very smart person. I really honestly, this is why I love learning about people. And I love getting to meet them. Like, I know it's a bad situation, but I'm glad that I can talk to them about this because she's such a brilliant girl for knowing to do this. And despite being stressed, despite being in such a stressful time where you're literally getting this crazy demand letter, you have all this pressure, she managed to make this 200 IQ move and just absolutely come in here like a very, very, very base Stacy over here and just absolutely own them by going and getting the lawyer, right? By lawyering up. Bravo to her. Really good job.
I sent him my contract, and even he was just like, what is this? He's like, this contract makes no sense. And
what does that sound like? What does that sound like? The lawyer looked at it and was like, what is this? This makes no sense. What does this sound like, ladies and gentlemen? This sounds exactly like Niji Sanji. That sounds like my reaction to that. I'm like, what the fuck is this? What is this? What is this? Any lawyer who's clever is going to look at the contract and be like, yo, this is garbage. This is, what you can throw this in the trash can. It's ridiculous. And I'm glad to hear another lawyer is having the exact same reaction I had when I saw Niji. It's crazy to hear this and hear that, look, this is what real lawyers are saying. It's not just me. I know people can say, oh, Andrew's a YouTube lawyer and Andrew's this and that, and Andrew's a YouTuber, blah, blah, blah. This is another lawyer. Right? Another lawyer who's got experience in this field, and he's saying the exact same thing I'm saying. Oh, maybe it's because that's the right opinion on these contracts, and maybe because I am not talking shit when I tell you these contracts are worthless. I have done a lot of contracts as well, including overseas contracts. In fact, I've got to talk with somebody about forming a partnership with a Singaporean company, right? Very, very soon, right? And this is what I do. And when I see a contract that's trash and unenforceable, I know it's trash, right? And I know that the most common remedy, even between companies that are in different countries, is just to walk away. It's just to walk away. It's great. And by the way, this stream is before I spoke to her. I did not speak to her. So she's saying all this stuff without having spoken to me. Peter Butchin says that sounds like the dreadful kafala system. Kafala, not familiar with that. Valrouge Larfox says, would the company be liable by the court if it's proven that they tried to extort money from her, even if she wouldn't? Well, the problem is here, guys. Here's the problem. There's no way to punish the company other than shaming them, really, because she'd have to go to Korea and sue the company in Korea. Understand, that's the problem. That's the problem with Niji Sanji. That's the problem with the other one. And the least I can do is to call them out on it, right? If all I'm doing here is to call them out, that's pretty good. At least it's something. At least shaming these companies, which, by the way, is a thing in Asia. At least shaming them is going to do it. And that's why you guys liking this video, sharing out these videos, clip the video, clip it, guys. I give you full permission. I clip away, right? Share it out, translate it. Somebody asked me if they can translate it. Translate your hearts away. Translate all my videos. It's fine. Do it. It's fine. It's totally fine. Go out there and share it, because what we can do to get justice for these folks is not a lawsuit. It would cost her hundreds of thousands of dollars. It would cost her just as much to sue them, right? That's not worth it. What's worth it is to shame them, to call them out for this wrong. Now, what you should not do is should not attack any other livers. I mean, she specifically said she doesn't want that, right? And I agree with that. Leave them all out of it. But in terms of this specific action, saying what was done here was wrong. What was done here was wrong. Specifically here was wrong. Like, you should not try to force somebody into labor. It's not right. It's not right.
Basically told him, you know, everything that was going on. And I also, because like I told my company that I was not going to pay for anything until I saw a receipt. They sent me the receipt.
That's what I have.
This is how they're I'm not going to tell you everything on there, but they basically wanted me to pay.
And by the way, this is not a receipt. It's not necessarily a receipt. Like you guys think a receipt is like actual expenses. It's a spreadsheet. I have the whole thing, but I cropped it because some of it has her personal information on it. And I also some other sections, which might be more, which I wanted to keep off because there might be spicier stuff there or whatever. But I got you guys a totals. I'm going to show you another section. It's more like a spreadsheet that's an invoice. Yeah, more like not even an invoice, more like just a calculation spreadsheet. It's like literally a spreadsheet. It doesn't show you what was actually purchased. It doesn't show you specific receipts with, okay, we bought X or we did X on X day, right? It's vague guesstimates, percentages, right? And this is very true too. Music and Fiction says, people need to understand U.S. law is a common law system, which is different from Korea, which is civil law, which is why bribes are king in Korea. Yeah, there's a lot of shenanigans in the civil law system. A lot of shenanigans in the civil law system. People are already caught Claude's statement. This is a separate one. And for the lie, it is. Some Japanese livers have said in the past they tried asking for the play button, but only got denied. Well, I don't think anybody can have their. Yeah, I don't think anybody can get the play button. I think they would get denied on that because they want to control them that way. I mean, that's just the Niji way. And in their contract, they talk about that too, keeping those sort of things. Justin says this idea of VTubers not owning their characters' models is absolute cancer. New follower, thanks for letting us know that the alien is okay. Yeah, and Justin, I'm gonna do a separate stream on that because it does a disservice for me to say that like the issue of the artists and their models, it's complicated. It's not straightforward. I know that everyone wants to be as simple as, well, the artist should automatically own their model. Well, hold on there. Hold on there. Like that's not, once again, I'm not so zealous that I'm going to lose my objectivity here. Obviously, no agency would want to exist if they had to give out free models to everybody, right? That I mean, just agencies wouldn't operate. They would be like bankrupted if every time they even talk to somebody, they had to give them a model. Right? No, well, there can be some requirements, but they can be reasonable requirements, right? So what's a more reasonable requirement of, okay, you put X time in, you get your model, or you do X, you get your model, right? There's ways to make it more reasonable, right? People mention VShojo. I haven't looked at the VShojo contracts. I haven't seen the VShojo contract yet. So just to be very clear, I don't want to, people are saying VShojo. I don't know whether they do it or not. I'm just telling you what the chat is saying. People say VShojo is VShojo. But yeah. I mean, it's very right. If people knew if you were required by law to give out a free model, right, then people would quit, get the model and leave and put in the minimum effort and leave just for the model because they'd say, oh, I got the model, I'm out. Right. And you wouldn't be able to stop them if that was the law, right? Or if that's how it worked. Okay. Peter says, Super Chat was in context of you mentioning that Korean corporates controlling the visa and housing usually has leverage. Yes. The kafala system in the Gulf states is similar, but taken to the extreme. Oh, yes, Peter. Is that the system where they take their passports too? And they like kind of have them in a permanent like debt slavery system? Yes, I've heard about that. It seems pretty bad, but I haven't done a deep dive on it. Maybe I need to look into that. It's kind of scary when you're seeing VTubers put in situations that are like close to slavery. Yeah, I'm not making these things up, guys. These things are real. If you learn more about things that are going on in the world, you see a lot of effed up stuff.
For direct labor costs, which is basically, they hire people and they pay them. But no. I had to pay them. The people that work for them, I had to pay. And one of those things was just like one of the things, because it was in categories. One of the things was just etc. It just said etc. And it was $22,000. Don't know what it was. It just said
This is correct. I can confirm. Can confirm. In fact, you know what? Let me clip that. Let me actually. I have the file. I should do this right now because I've got the file. Let me pull this down. Make sure I don't do anything. Let's see if I can find this real quick. I can probably find the etc. Right? Hold on. Which is ridiculous, by the way. That needs to be itemized. Right? Not just okay, yeah, I can show this one. I've got to really zoom in though. Let me zoom in a lot for this. Okay. I'm going to zoom into this one. Yeah, this one's safe to show. Okay. Just going to make sure it's perfectly safe before I show it. Okay, here we go. So here's part of the bill where they said that. Just so you know, she's not talking smack. This is real. Okay. So marketing, right? Marketing. YouTube ad, 22. This is essentially almost $20,000 for YouTube marketing, right? Twitter ads, about $1,000, right? YouTube, about 2,000, right? Etc. So the ETC is bigger than Twitter and YouTube. You've got to break this shit out. You can't just like put an ETC and not break that out. Like you're not even describing what that is. Like, come on. You think this is going to hold up? Right here? Bro, ETC, trust me, bro. We got you. Yeah. By the way, a big charge here for the music videos and the animation. Big charges. Big charges. Now, I know music videos are expensive, but yeah. To me, that's BS. When you ask for an invoice and they put stuff like that on it, no, the source cannot be, trust me, bro, we spent an extra 4K. Oh, sorry, about 4,000 on that. No, that's not etc. You need to enumerate that. Won is in big numbers. The Korean won is in big numbers. Not gonna lie. Still got my Korean bank account. Still hanging out over there. I'm a millionaire. In Korea. I am a millionaire in Korea, guys. Reverend Norris says, we are a law firm. Andrew, founder and head law guy. Mod, senior partners. Chat, Azua paralegals of freaking monkeys.
Fighting monkey とかさ。
All of you, Monkey Mindset Law and Company. Appreciate it. We all are going to be out there with the best
Fighting monkey とかさ。
you can get on the internet. Jill will be very proud of us. Black Sheep Boy says 90K USD for a music video. Yep. Now, to be fair, I don't know the costs of making a music video. Thank you for the monkey emojis in the chat. Monkeys in the chat. Appreciate y'all. Just a bunch of monkeys, baby. So look, I don't know how much a music video costs. I've never made a music video. I know a music video might be expensive, but even then 90K sounds like a lot because you're assuming it at Korean wages. You're assuming it based on their wages. So I don't know if that is 100% accurate. It might be reasonable, it might not. I don't know. Let's see. Someone says 90K is on the high end of reasonable. So that's another thing they could be doing. Thank you for that comment. So what they could be doing is giving a high estimate instead of the real estimate. So putting a high number. So it's like, oh, this is the platinum quality. Remember, this is a small VTuber. So you're going to have me believe they put 100K worth of effort into a small VTuber almost? Nah, I don't think so. And Selin put for last cup of coffee was 15K. People keep mentioning that, 15K. And for example, Marine, Marine is a giant channel with bringing in buku bucks. For Marine, paying $300,000 is like a drop in the bucket for a music video. They'll recover way more than that from selling stuff related to the music video, especially merchandise, right? So, people mention Iron Mouse's concert. It's freaking Iron Mouse, right? They're going to recover from that. They're going to get that money back. Speaking of getting stuff back, guys, let's get these likes up. We're almost at 3,000 people in the chat right now, and we're almost at 1,000 likes. We need to get to at least 1,000. We're at 960, guys, so please smash that like button so we can get this news out there to everybody and all of you freaking...
Degenerates. You guys degenerates.
Can keep getting the degenerate news you need. Appreciate y'all. Jen, thank you for the 10 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you so much. Appreciate your support, Jen. And thanks for following me and being such a great supporter of the channel. Black Sheep says, just saw the music video. This is not 90K. And the animators are uncredited. They probably watched some Fiverr do make it. Should we watch it right now? But if we watch it, they might try to strike me. If we watch it, they might claim me. This is how, by the way, guys, a lot of people have been asking, why is my chat replay off? It's because I have been getting a lot of copyright claims on my stuff. So when I play these clips, the problem with playing clips is you get a lot of stuff, so it messes up the chat replay. If I do it at the end, it'll still. Now we can watch it. Let's say we'll watch it maybe watch it on your own. In fact, I'll put it in the chat. How about that? How about that? I will put it in the chat if I can find it. If I can find it. Let's see. What was it called again? Hold on, let me pull up the invoice here. The one that's 120,000. Okay, yeah, I got it here. Okay. So let me search here. Wild Things Amano Serafi. So I'm gonna pull up this music video. This is the 3-minute music video that is supposedly 100,000. I'll put that in the chat so you guys can see it. There's the link in the chat to Wild Things. It's actually, they moved it to not even her channel. It's now on the V and U channel. And by the way, this isn't just for her, right? It's for her entire gen. So this is supposed to be split with her generation. Oh, we just discovered how they're lying on this even further. See, look how they're lying. This is not her music video. This is a group song. So what they are claiming here, scroll down here, right? What they are claiming here is not that this is actually something that is 100,000. They're claiming it's 200 because it's two people. So they're claiming that it's double because it's got to be divided by her gen mate. So either they didn't properly divide this and they submitted an improper receipt, or they're just trying to extort her here. Right? Very interesting. Also, professional gentleman with a word of professional advice, which is load the video in a private tab. Thank you, professional gentlemen. Keep it professional in the chat. Thanks for the mods. Shout out to you guys. You guys are great. Great resource. Great people. Absolutely based. Definite bullshit. See why I like to call people on this, guys, because exposing this is true, because this truth needs to get out here when people are trying to abuse these small VTubers. It's just not cool. Godot or Lodad Socks says, just got in. I'm guessing there's a copyright thing with the last one. No, just a request to take it down. That's why I did. Also, us Brits use pounds. Yes, British pounds, 5 British pounds. I'm going to rewind to the beginning of the stream. See ya. Okay, no problem. Catch up on 1.5x, brother. Black Sheep says 90K USD for a music video, actually 180K. They're actually claiming that was almost $200,000 for a 3-minute music video. I'll let you guys be the judge of that one, okay? Alwyn says, etc. is so dangerous and a shitty way to put it in the document. Basically says whatever we feel like. Black Sheep Boy, I've seen prawn better made than this. I'm sure you have, Black Sheep Boy. I'm sure you have.
Disgusting.
Just saying. Just saying. Okay. We're not even done with this story, guys. We got more from Amano Serafi, aka Allie, Alien Mixture. So let's hear more of what she's got to say here.
Etc. And I sent all that to my lawyer, and he was like, no. He was like, you tell them that you're not paying it. And he was like, and afterwards, lose all contact. And if
Lawyer says, tell them you're not paying it, and then just don't even answer them.
Not as in, I cannot absolve you. Mega based.
I love it. I love it. That is definitely mega base goated lawyer saying, tell him to fuck off, but in a polite way, right? Obviously, like politely, right? I'm being really direct about it. But like, that's why you get a lawyer. They're going to give you the confidence you need to walk away like an absolute giga chad and just drop the mic and be like, actually, no. And then just walk. Smart. The lawyer said ghost him. W.
if they want to press charges against you, they're going to have to come over here to America and sue you on American soil.
Boom. What else did I say? So her lawyer, once again, this is not me. This is her talking to somebody, about this, said they're going to have to sue you in America. They're going to have to come over here, spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in litigation to sue you in America for an American judge to laugh at this contract, rip it up, throw it in the trash, wipe their ass with it on the way out, flush it, and sneer at you. They'll definitely lose. But even if they won, they wouldn't even be able to collect because she's got another weapon, even if they manage to win. Listen to this. This is great. This is perfectly great.
And I don't think any company is going to go out of their way to do that.
Boom. And this is true. Almost no company will go out of their way to do that. It's ridiculous.
Let me guess, totaling 100K, right? It was past 100K. I'm not going to I don't want to give the direct, but it was past 100K.
Well, we gave the direct.
So,
sorry, but I mean, she let me. By the way, she authorized me to use the numbers, so it was with permission of the streamer there.
I didn't get to have a graduation with the people because there's some people here that know me as Serafi. There were some people here that just know me as Allie and didn't know me as Serafi. I'm trying not to cry actually right now.
Oh. It's hard. It's really hard when you lose your your livelihood, when you lose the thing that you were working hard on, the thing you were building. She's at 32K subs, man, guys. I remember I wasn't always at 100K subs. I remember back when I was grinding for 20K, grinding for 10K, grinding for 5K. It's tough, man. It's tough. And that time is a lot of mental stress when you're growing and building, when you're trying to go from 30 to 100, when you're trying to get up there in the real numbers. Like, it's tough, guys. It's a slog. You got to put in the time, put in the effort, put in the work. And she was on that way to leave that and not even be able to say goodbye, not even have a proper send-off. It's fucked up. It's bad, And when she's asking, saying, look, this is because of my mental health, because I can't do this. I mean, you've got to have an ability to say, hey, look, I've got to back out here. But Sketch says grinding for 200K for a full model. Yes. 2D model happens at 200K. I promised it. Full 2D tracking, everything, full details happens at 200K. Guess Serafi ain't coming back. Unfortunately. Nope. It's not coming back. It's very true. I could do that in a clip in Kokaitsu Party for 1K. Coyote Trickster said the mafia is more honest with their attempts at extortion, and they have the brain power not to leave a paper trail. Yeah, I mean, Coyote Trickster, dude, this is sloppy. Like, it's just lazy. And the fact is, they think that nobody else will ever see it or nobody else will get it, and that's why shaming them and bringing it out is so important, because it's got to say, you guys cannot do this and think you're going to get away with it, right? Think you're going to get away with abusing people, extorting people. It's not okay. It's not acceptable behavior to do that. Hound of Three Omens says, no, it's not going to happen, but I wish I could still see them. Try to explain the value of an etc. Yeah. Yeah. Etc. is what is that? fuck is that? You've got to have details on it, etc. You can't just throw thousands of dollars in there and say, oh yeah, this is ETC. What? No, that's not, that literally is the opposite of an invoice. This is, yo, yeah, it's some stuff. We paid it for some stuff. Well, what? Show me the receipts. Lawyer, F off. Yes, let's play the clip.
Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you!
I just imagine that in lawyer form, right? In lawyer form. And then Chief Spartan says, when did this kick off? They didn't say anything, and I was still waiting for the Waffle House Angel to come back from hiatus. She's one of my Oshis. This happened really recently. This is why this is breaking news, and also why I wanted to get it out there, because I know there's people that were following her that maybe don't know that she's transitioned over to Alien Mixture. So I wanted to get that out there for people that are following that and get her some justice for her. So really the positive thing is to let people know, hey, she's over here on Twitch, on Twitter. She's her info's in the description. This original video is in the description. So go over there and follow her, go over there, support her, tell her that Legal Mindset sent you to support her, show her love, show her support. That's the best vengeance you can get, or the best revenge you can get is by giving her positivity, giving her support. And if you didn't know about her, go follow her over there, Alien Mixture, on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, right? So go follow her on that platform. This was on a Twitch video, right? So you can go over there and support her there. But very soon, I'm glad that we can kind of connect you with your Oshi, Chief Spartan. Let's see here. Let's continue to play.
It was hard. It was hard. Like, I cried almost every night because I was so scared. But the lawyer really helped me, and that I told him, I was just like, I'm not paying that money. And if you want to come and get me, then come and get me. And I mean, if they do, nobody has that money. I don't have that money. So I file bankruptcy and they come over here for nothing. But what saddens me the most.
And by the way, I see that comment about like, is this like, there is a line between somebody who is being like unjustly, somebody who's just a random disgruntled employee versus a legitimate grievance. This is a legitimate problem. Like, submitting that invoice is very illegitimate, right? That behavior is impermissible. That's not canceling or reacting to the corporation. Like I said, I'm very considerate of corporate interests. And if they'd submitted this invoice and this invoice had said, reasonable expenses, had been like, oh, we paid $1,000 for marketing, we paid $500 for YouTube or whatever, okay, fine, right? That's fine. Maybe they could talk about that. But submitting this level of invoice, no, that's extortive, right? That's blackmail. And it's also an attempt at enforcing labor. It's an attempt at enforcing literally indentured servitude. Like, there's a point at which things pass the level of, oh, it's just an employee who's mad, to no, this is a legitimate problem. This is a very legitimate problem. Eric H for 20 said, people are afraid of court. So if you send them a paper tiger threatening something like this, there's a non-zero chance of them folding and trying to settle what they can to make it just go away. Yes, it's exactly. People just settle to like make it blink off and go away. Anthony says, I got a reasonable example of owning a company after you quit. My company advances us leave at the beginning of the year, and my former coworker used it all, and all of it, didn't earn it, and quit, then got a bill. See? Yeah, that's a problem, right? If you get leave in advance and that's something you're like paid for, is considered part of your compensation, right? You should have to settle that out, saying, okay, well, you didn't work these days and you quit, so you're gonna have to compensate, or we're gonna deduct your last bill, your last check, by that leave that you were advanced for the whole year and you took. That is reasonable, Anthony. And I think, once again, that's a side of just being a reasonable person, right? Being a reasonable person who's able to analyze the interest of the company against the interest of the worker and achieving a balance. I think a balance is fine. And, that's definitely, it's definitely important. Let's see here. Brute7E says, ETC only belongs to a pre-projected proposed budget. I can't even imagine putting it on an invoice. Yeah, exactly. Let's continue.
Was the fact that they never gave you guys like a hiatus. They never told you guys that, hey, Amano Serafi is graduating. She's leaving. They never gave you guys anything, and I waited. I graduated with them on the 28th of February. And I was like, I'm gonna let the company make an announcement. There was no announcement for me. And I think, and the thing is that hurts the most because I know now how little I mattered. I mattered so fucking little. And it sucks because I don't know, I'm just baffled. Like, talking about it, I'm still so fucking baffled. And the thing is, I did it. I had one of my mods, you know, put something basically telling you guys like, hey, she's gone. And I didn't want to have to do that. I did not want to, but you guys needed to know. Because some of you, like, I would lurk. I will tell you guys right now, I lurked. I lurked in the Discord that the company has. And I saw all the, I hope she comes back soon. I hope she comes back, like, you know, like amazing. And, you know, like, I hope she comes back happy and healthy. And I broke down because you guys did not know. Wait, retract that.
Yeah, because so it's in this limbo state where everything is up, literally everything is up in the air. They haven't announced her graduation. They haven't announced anything. Her channel's still up. You could still find all of her social media. And so they're not telling her fans. They're not in like the Discord, like it's all silent, right? And she's not coming back, but nobody knows. And they haven't posted that official announcement yet. Right. And we're going to talk about, because I've also seen her contract. We'll talk about that afterwards. So I know there's a lot of contract questions and contract debate. We'll talk about the illegal contract part, right, too. We will talk about this because I have seen the actual contract. Okay.
No, I'm not retracting it. No, I'm putting everything out on the floor. I saw everything. And I bawled. I bawled like a baby. My schizo brain was right about you lurking. I will let you know that I only lurked towards the end. Like, I never had like an ult in there for like ever. It was just when I graduated. No, he called you Serafi. Oh, I don't care. I really don't care. Let's try to call me Allie, but as of right now, I'm basically the best of both worlds right now. I'm the best of both worlds. I'm mostly talking to you guys as the person behind Allie. Let's put it that way. How about that? I'm talking to you guys as the person that is Allie and Serafi, because I don't think people realize that.
So this is, once again, I feel comfortable talking about the PL so smoothly because she's said it. She said it multiple times here. She's also, we talked about this before, so I got her permission to talk about it. So that's why we're making these cross references, because obviously, you know, we're clearly talking about her PL.
And this is like preaching.
She is American.
Choir,
she's American.
that we are human beings behind these models. And I do think that there's companies out there that need to understand that. Like the fact that they just...
That's it right there, guys. Think about what she just said there. In fact, I'm going to rewind that. That needs to be said like again and listen very carefully. I'm going to rewind that like a couple seconds here. This is the like one of the crescendos here that I think is the most important. The reason why I cover this, really this topic, is because of this.
And I bawled. I bawled like a baby. My schizo brain was right about you lurking. I will let you know that I only lurked towards the end. Like I never had like an ult in there for like ever. It was just when I graduated. No, he called you Serafi. Oh, I don't care. I really don't care. Let's try to call me Allie, but as of right now, I'm basically the best of both worlds right now. I'm the best of both worlds. I'm mostly talking to you guys as the person behind Allie. Let's put it that way. How about that? I'm talking to you guys as the person that is Allie and Serafi, because I don't think people realize that. And this is like preaching to the choir, that we are human beings behind these models. And I do think that there's companies out there that need to understand that. Like the fact that they just threw me away like I was nothing after all the hard work I did. Like there was nights I stayed up long hours trying to get things right because I had to do it by myself. I had to. And I know, I'm not naming any names because I don't want to do that, but I know some of the girls have talked about it before. I know they have.
So yeah, that's very important. Once again, you know, there's people behind it, and you got to understand that these effects, these real effects, are happening on the people behind the models, the people that are still at the company, and even people that are still there.
Because we've all talked about our struggles, but I don't want to loop them in. But yeah, it was fucked up. It was very fucked up, and I don't wish ill will on anybody, not even the company. But it's one of the things that I hope that the company learns from this and just doesn't do it with the other girls.
See, that's it. And I completely agree with her on this. This is something that I support as well. This is where we agree. And this is why I really wanted to cover this, is because I just hope we can avoid situations like this. I hope that we can avoid situations like Sayu, like Doki, like Ali here. Like, I hope that we can try to avoid all of these issues, right? Like, this is the point, right? People are like, what is the point? Yes. So it doesn't happen to other people. So it stops happening. So it creates a culture of this is not okay, right? And like, look, it's okay to get in a dispute with a worker when they're leaving. Obviously, there's going to be people that are, they leave on bad terms. People don't always leave jobs on good terms. They're not always happy when they leave. That's fine. That's normal. And there's an acceptable amount of back and forth. But when you're going into extortive territories, then there's a problem, right? Then there's an issue. And by the way, I'll even say this too. Like she's saying here, she says specifically, do not go after the company. Do not go after the other livers. She says that repeatedly. And I've said that repeatedly, right? And just because this is the way she was treated doesn't mean the others were treated. Here's another big thing, guys. And I don't know a lot about VNU's individual talents. You guys probably know more than me, but they are a Korean company. Some of their original generation are Korean. And it could be there's just an issue with the work culture between Korea and America. And there's some cross-cultural issues. And it could be they're not communicating effectively to each other. That could be an issue as well. There's a lot of things that could be going on here. So when these things come up, the thing is, how are they handled? Right? How are these conflicts handled? It's a very important question.
Because yeah, I mattered so little in the end. And that's what kind of sucks.
Yeah, someone says Lofi is still in Korea. Okay, there you go.
I did not let that stop me from streaming again. And of course, like, this isn't a thing where it's like, I don't want this to be like a thing where it's like, take my side, don't take their side. It's honestly up to interpretation. It depends on who you want to believe, who you want to side with. And I'm not really asking you guys to side with anybody, really. Like, I'm just telling you guys what happened because I feel like I need to be very transparent about that. Because at the end of the day, to me, yes, it wasn't fair to me, but it wasn't fair to you all. Like, out of everything, and I mean, you could even ask my mods, like, especially the Funny Man 96, he is my best friend, like my bestest friend. I kept asking him if you guys were okay. I was just like, how am I, like, cause like my birthday stuff. I was like, how am I gonna do my birthday stuff? How are they gonna know I graduated? How am I gonna let them know this? How am I gonna let them know that? So like I was very, very worried about you guys in the end. And I just felt like you guys needed to know. And it sucks that they still haven't made an announcement. And I get it. They have like a new gen coming out, and you know, they don't want that to like
taint the generation.
Girls, but they already made. I like thinking of it.
Yeah, no, I get that from a business concern. Like, they don't want the news, like negative news, to like taint the generation. But like, obviously, this is a situation where there's no reconciling, right? This is not going to be reconciled. So they need to move on, right? So like, all parties involved here need to move on. So yeah, it seems like the best thing to do would be make the announcement, make it happen, because yeah, like it's already, it's clear there's no making this squared. Real quick before we continue, backtrack and watch from the start. God bless you. Thank you, Banana. Appreciate that. Tilda T says, notice how the corporations seem to pick up VTubers that aren't big, but also not tiny. They know who's desperate to grow and catch them with shiny promises. Yes. They get them at this like perfect point where you're growing, but you're not that big. So you're hopeful. You're like, oh, I made it to 2,000, 10,000, whatever subs, and I want to make it to 100,000, a million, etc. Right? They get you when you've got some, but you're not big enough to sustain yourself yet. So they kept collecting after the fact. We're going to go over the labor costs. The labor costs are ridiculous and they're completely inaccurate. There's no way they're true. Slavkai Niki says, my schizophrenia was right. Was me, by the way. I sometimes got a gut instinct. I'm right. I'm glad Ali is back. Go and bully our lovely stink alien. Yeah, she would love it. She's pretty unfiltered. She really will talk about anything. Like, you know, it's really, it was really cool talking with her. She was so shy talking with me. It was really cute. It was really adorable. Anthony Norwood said, let's just say my company has the ability to garnish wages from any U.S. paycheck. So they got their money from that leave. There you go. There you go. I think I know your company. All right, let's continue. She's got a couple more minutes here.
I'm thinking of it this way, and I don't mean to sound like a bitch when I say this, but they made a hiatus for one of their members. Why not a graduation for Serafi? Like that's a big announcement. Nowhere to be seen. I actually went and checked and my membership is still active. Oh, yeah. If you guys have a membership that's active, I'm letting you know right now. Take it away. Take it away. I'm letting you know. So I raised,
because she's not going to do any content, right? So it's not fair that somebody pays a membership and they're not getting any content, right? So like they're paying a membership for nothing, right? So yeah, that's fair, right? That's fair. There's still memberships that are active. And it's not going to her. So, and the company is still milking that when they know that this is like an impasse, right? Not cool.
no, yeah, I raised $4,000 for my subathon. I never received any of that money. They withheld it against me. I'm letting you guys know right now. They did not pay me in December or January. I was not paid for 2 months.
And this is what they always hold over you. They always hold over the payments, right? Because they're collecting the payments and then dispersing it to you. So they're always holding that money over your head.
So please, if you have a membership, because it's a company.
See why I'm covering this?
A company is going to do what they can to make money. And right now they are milking it. Don't give them that satisfaction, because at the end of the day, that's your money and that's money that you're spending and you're not getting anything for it.
Yeah, that's the most fucked up thing. Look, like there's a lot of good creators that are busting their balls to give you good members content, emojis, upgrades, stuff like that, subathons. Like there's great people that are out there offering content, but to allow somebody to milk essentially farm you for money to turn you into a true pay pig who's paying for literally nothing. Like, don't do that. Don't be that. Have some dignity. Go over there, get your money back, get your refunds, cancel the memberships, because frankly, you're not going to get any more content. So what are you paying for? Right. And by keeping it up and keeping it appearing as if there's something without making an announcement, they are indeed milking it. That is the definition of milking it, is to have it up there and, well, have no intention whatsoever of doing anything with it. It's not good.
Like I said, I graduated back in the 28th of December. No, the 28th of February. And
28th. So it's
been now?
So she officially stopped a while ago, 28th of February. And yet they're still got it up. We're in March. It's March 19th, right? So it's a month later. So people say, is it illegal? Well, no, I mean, they're just keeping a channel up. I don't think keeping the channel up is necessarily quote unquote illegal. It's shady as hell. It's very shady. But yeah.
It's March. Let's see, the 28th. What, 3 weeks? Yeah, no, 2 weeks. A little under a month, yeah. No announcement. No nothing. So yeah, fuck that shit. I'm back as Indie.
There we go.
I'm here now. And I'm probably gonna be Allie for a very long time. I think, like, and I can't say that all of it was bad. I don't want to say that it was all bad. I learned new things. So hopefully I came out more knowledgeable and better in the long run. The only thing I will say is if you think about joining a company, and it doesn't even have to be a VTubing company, if you think about just joining any companies and they have a contract, get that shit looked at.
Correct.
That was my biggest problem. I didn't. But thankfully, the contract was null and void anyways.
Yes.
So, by a lawyer, yes. Because even my lawyer looked at it, was like, the fuck is this?
There you go.
So yeah, and it's so funny. My lawyer, when I was talking to him on the phone, my lawyer, like, was literally just like, "Yeah, tell them to kiss your ass." I was like,
Hold on. Hold on.
I didn't.
Hold on. Tell him to kiss your ass. No, I'm sorry. I know I'm trying to balance these, but I got to get one in here, guys.
Not a sin. I cannot absolve you. Mega based.
Seriously, sometimes you just need to tell them that. Sometimes you just need to tell them to go away, to kiss your ass, that you're done and walk away. And that's the most glorious thing about the law, is knowing the right point to do that. Knowing when to say that, right? That is the value of going to a lawyer, because it gives you the ability to say, F you, I'm walking. And that's such a good feeling. It's such a good feeling to walk out of the room, like, just with your shoulders back, your chest full, say it with your chest, just full out. Yeah, guess what? I'm going home. It's great. It's a powerful thing to do that. You need to interview a lawyer. I wouldn't, because it's attorney-client. So the more he talks about it breaches attorney-client privilege, I could not talk to a lawyer about it, because if we talked about it, that would breach privilege, right? And since it's technically still an active thing, it's better I comment as a non-lawyer lawyer that's talking about it. I don't hope that makes sense, but I don't want to breach attorney-client privilege, right? But this is definitely good stuff. Definitely good stuff. Matt B says, plot twist, the charges are correct, but the company is so incompetent they actually did pay absurd rates. That would be a ridiculous plot twist. But by the way, Matt, a U.S. court, an American court, will look at that and make them pay what a standard rate was. So if they were so incompetent as to be overcharged for everything, well, they're not going to charge them that. They're going to be like, okay, well, this is ridiculous. It's unconscionable. So we're going to go back to market rates. We're going to look at what market rates are. Right. And by the way, on the earlier poll about class of 09, 64% of you said don't know, and 27% said it's good. Okay. Well, there you go. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and technically, professional gentleman is very right. Here you go. YouTube memberships are not paying for content. They're paying for access to content. So keeping membership content is totally fine. Charge people for access. Yeah. So for example, if you subscribe as a member, you get an access to the backlog of member-only streams. So the entire archive of member-only streams. I've got a lot of member-only streams. In fact, if I look at my own channel, let me just look right now. I've probably got like at least 50, if not 100, maybe. Like I've got a lot of member-only streams. Let me just see here. Let me see if I can filter here. Pretty sure. How many do I got here? I've got a lot. Let's put it that way. A lot of members-only content. So you get the entire category of members-only content. And you get access to that, right? And that's what she's saying. So her members, her like YouTube members, technically they still have access to the backlog, right? That's why they're billing them for it. and they're trying to get through that billing cycle and collect that money. Damn, this really steams me up. I only wish criminal charge could have been filed. Yeah, but honestly, in Korea, it's really difficult because she would have to go to Korea. She'd have to like go fly out. It's not worth it. It's not worth it to deal with that. Testify in Korea. Come on, you don't want to do that. Supreme J. And by the way, if it's a non-Korean versus a Korean, yeah, I mean, to be honest, guys, it's going to be really tough. It's going to be an uphill battle to prove that. Supernova J Bombastic says, wait, I'm confused. She said she hasn't been active since the start of the year, but her Twitter was active all the way up and through the start of February. No, Supernova. She hasn't been active since the end of since February, right? So anything in March and anything like at the very end of February was not her, was something else, right? Either like a skinned walk tweet or whatever. But yeah, hasn't been active after February. So I think you heard that wrong. January, I think she was. Einhander says, you want 450K? Best I can do with 350. Leave it, take it or leave it, comrade. Throw in 350 in the Vox 10 gun. Maybe we got a deal. Let's continue.
Say that. I was very professional when I told them that I was walking. But eat my shorts. So yeah, like I said, I don't want any of this to like be like a pointing fingers at who and who. I'm just telling you guys my side of the story, and of course it's the only side of the story that's gotten out so far, so
it's an important side of the story.
Who knows?
Screw you guys, I'm going indie.
Yep. So I came back as Allie, which, that was a big pain in the butt. I had to reactivate my account. I had to try to get all my emotes back. So we do have emotes. They're just not set up yet. So you guys will have Allie emotes. So do not worry. We have very cute emotes. I need to learn how to Twitch again.
From YouTube to Twitch.
I can't sub yet. Turn it back on. I can't. It won't let me turn anything on. Legal Mindset said the same thing with the Doki Bird and Selene. And, reading about the Selene situation actually kind of gave me a whole lot of confidence. Just to know that, she had it worse 10 times. 10 times she had it worse. But it was kind of nice to know that you're not the only person going through it, I guess. Like, when you know that, somebody else has gone through or is going through what you are, it kind of gives you, peace of mind. You know what? You just don't feel like you're the only person. I don't think I have enemies, so that's at least good. I don't think I had enemies because the company kind of isolated me from a lot of things. Like, one thing that actually really, really hurt, and I don't blame anybody, was there was a whole collab with a lot of the Gen girls. I think it was for celebrating Gen 3 or Gen 4. It was a crab game, right? It was crab game. I forgot if it was welcoming Gen 3. I think it was when Gen 4 finally got out of collab ban. I think it was. I was never told or notified. I was never told about it, and I was never notified about it. And that really hurt.
That sucks.
Because it's kind of when I think of a company, I think of all of us. I don't want to say family, but we're teammates. And yeah, I was never told or notified. But it's okay. It's okay. No family. Yeah, I don't want to say we're a family, but it's we work together. That's how companies work. It's through teamwork. It's to help bring out the better of you. So it was just it just felt like I was very isolated. I had no one. I had no one except people on the outside. And that really sucks. But I'm back. I'm indie. And we're gonna have a good time. Once I figure out how the fuck everything works, we'll have a good time. We'll have a good time. So, thank you guys for coming to my TED Talk, and I'm actually really glad that you guys understand. I I was a little worried about telling you guys a bunch of stuff because, of course, I don't know what's okay to say and what's not okay to say because I'm a very transparent person. Like,
which is why you speak to your lawyer, right? And which is why we spoke about this after she spoke to her lawyer. She's already had that conversation with a lawyer, so she's good here, right? So like that's where you need to speak to a lawyer, right? They'll tell you what you can say, what you should say, what you shouldn't say, right? That is very, very important, right? This is where you talk to a lawyer. This is where a lawyer is important. They will tell you what you can say, what you can't say, what you should be silent about, right? In fact, there's probably a reason why certain creators and certain people are silent, probably because they know they should be silent on it, or maybe they want to be silent. They don't want to dredge it back up. There's a lot of stuff going on. Yeah. Let's continue.
Like, if I gotta take a shit, I'm gonna tell you guys I'm gonna take a shit. If I'm pissed off, I'm gonna tell you guys I'm pissed off, right? So, and of course, I'm not very good at expressing my feelings. I've never been good at like talking, really, about serious stuff like this. Like, I'm okay with talking about like poo poo pee pee, but yeah, I am glad that I got out, and who knows what the future has in store, you know? It's just really sad that my 2024 has been filled with nothing but tears, depression, and anxiety. But you know what? Hopefully towards the end, we'll have a good time.
Wait, I think I missed it.
Yeah,
I think I missed an important part of this video. So I think I need to rewind. There's one thing I think I've missed. This is like the end, but I think I missed a part here. Where is it? It's like 8. I had a timestamp for it. It's like 8:28. There you go. We got it 8:28. So let's go right here. 8:21. Go like right here. There we go. See if we can find it. Here we go.
Turn it back on. I can't. It won't let me turn anything on. Legal Mindset said the same thing with the Doki Bird and Selene. And you know,
there we go. Yes, I don't know how I missed that reference, but yes, the Legal Mindset mentioned in the chat. There we go, guys. Let's get them, boys. Get them, boys. Yeah, somebody mentioned Legal Mindset, mentioned my channel to her during stream. It was Slav Garage on Twitch. So shout out to Slav Garage, shouting out the Legal Mindset. Sorry, I guess I missed it there real quick. I was probably like temporarily distracted. But litigators in the chat for that. I'm really glad to be helping people, and I'm really glad to, like JP said, make a difference. That's what I want to do. I want to be positive, to educate and entertain. Look, I know it's a fine line, and I know there's lots of interests I have to balance, but I do want to be a net positive for this space, right? That's my issue, right? I know that some people have issues with me and have issues with just the nature of covering stuff, right? The nature of saying anything bad about anything in the VTubing sphere. There's a line between accepting that there's wrongs going on and telling the truth, but in this case, I'm on the side of telling the truth and getting the story out there, because this is the story. It's her story, and there's backup for it. There's backup for it. And we're not done yet, because we've got more about this invoice to look over. Kenny Church said, free to any VTuber who's going through something similar to what these young ladies went through, and tell them the slogan on the Texas Revolution flag: come and take it. Yes, absolutely. Zanda for 5,001, right, says, having been just introduced to VNU because they're newest gen, I'm really bummed out, but I should support my small elephant girl. Yeah, they do have a really cute elephant girl. I thought it was like a Gura version, but then I noticed it had a trunk. Like, they have one that looks really cute. Mivi. She's at the bottom here. Where is she at? She's an elephant girl, and I thought she was a shark, which looks really cute. Cute model. Cute model there, right? But once again, you know, she was very clear, and I want to be clear about this, to support, like, continue supporting your Oshis. She's not saying stop following anybody. She's not trying to create fighting. She actually supports all of her, you know, genmate and her other coworkers and stuff like that. It's not about anything with anybody else. It's not even about the relationship, right? Because maybe some of these other people have a great relationship with VNU. It's about what they did specifically to her in this instance. Okay, that's what we are talking about here. Specifically this instance and what they did to her with this situation, with this disagreement, and how it is not okay, right? That's the real issue here. That's the real issue. In that video, by the way, that I just watched, that is in the description so you guys can get that video. You can watch it. Now I'm going to pull up a little bitty clip here that is a piece of the invoice. So I've already showed you a little bit of it, but I want to show you a little bit more. So I want to show you the labor cost section. So this is like a much bigger thing I want to share with you. This is not, mind you guys, this is not the entire document. This is just a portion of the document, okay? So just understand this is not the entire thing. So they tried to bill her for a bunch of direct costs. They tried to bill her for both direct expenses and direct labor costs. This is just the labor portion, right? So what they tried to do here, I want to point out what they're trying to do here. They're trying to, so in order for her to leave, they're trying to force her to pay all of these other people's wages. This is actually illegal in America. This is not okay. You cannot bill somebody for the wages of other staff under American law. So this is straight up illegal. Okay? So, but what they're trying to say is all of these people, for example, the project owner, the head manager, the director, so the head of the organization is out here spending 30% of his time on her, right? Mind you, there's, I think, 19 other people with the new generation. This is the bill she received, right? It's the quote unquote invoice, right? And you're telling me that all of these staff spent all this time? I'm calling bullshit. I'm calling extreme bullshit. So these people spent 50% of their entire month on her project. And this is like for how many months do they spend it at, right? Or sorry, number of months, 2 months. So for 2 months, the project director spent 15% of his time on her. That's bullshit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 staff spent all of this time. That's complete shit. Right? Complete shit. Yeah. Very, very ridiculous. So, and this is in Korean won, by the way. It's in Korean won, obviously. The W is won, right? I know the units are big. Then you look at post-debut. Okay, so same thing as kind of pre. So this is pre-post. Pre-post. 4 months. 4 months. You're saying that a director and a head manager spent 4 months with 50% of their time on, no. And then 2 marketers that came in 50% of the time. So essentially a full employee dedicated to just her. I fucking doubt that. I really doubt that. Look, I'm not in Korea, but I doubt this is, I'm not a Korean lawyer, right? Hashtag not a Korean lawyer. But I doubt this is even legal, even in Korea. Even in Korea, I doubt this is legal. This is highly suspect. Right? So that question here from Harry says, is it even legal in Korea? I doubt it. I'm not a Korean lawyer, so I can't say for sure, but I have severe doubts. I'm sure a Korean lawyer would come in here and have questions for this. Right? Then look at this. So her management, so this is during the next 12 months. They're saying that all of these people for 12 months spent this amount of time on her. I'm calling BS as well. She's saying she had 1 monthly meeting, 1 meeting with a manager. And they want to say that she not only had 1 manager, she had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 managers who spent, let's see, 30%, 20%, 30%, 20%. So if you kind of add that all together, that's 50% right there, another 50%, right there, 130%. So essentially a full-time employee and 30%. So 1.3 employees, fully dedicated with all of their hours to her. That's bullshit. Not even, yeah, someone said, good one. Omnitrick, bro. Good one. Good one. Even lawyers don't bill you this much. Ridiculous. And the total they want to charge her for labor is down here, 124 million won. So let's do that math real quick. And this is just for labor, guys. Mind you, just for labor. That's one to USD. So that is $93,000. $93,000 they want to charge you for labor. Are you kidding me? For $93,000 worth of labor, I will build you I will build you an apartment in Korea. No, I'm joking. That's still cheap. But like, it's not literally almost 100K. And yes, by the way, Korean labor costs are lower than America. Yes, they are lower than America. But that what I'm saying is that that is ridiculous. And they did not actually spend that time on it. There's no way. There's no way. So that's labor. And once again, looking at the rates, looking at the wages, does not stack up. That does not stack up. They'd have that much staff dedicated solely to her. This is why you got to push back, because this is an extortion tactic. This is a blackmail tactic. It's not great. Coyote Trick said it right now. A loan shark company, right? Was this a loan shark company? I mean, look, they could be a good company to their other VTubers, but this tactic, this strategy of sending this ridiculously high and obviously unenforceable invoice is purely for intimidation. It's laughable. And what do the lawyers say? Ignore it, right? Legal Mindset started a VTuber agency to give people what they really want, more hearse girls. Yeah. It's called Legal Mindset Stable Agency. Okay. Should I play it? Should I play it? No, not yet. Not yet. We're too early for clopping. I have supported her for a year, and I just want to help her out as Allie by giving her an alert box animation that she can use. I hope it helps. Yeah, I really do. And I hope you support her. Go over and support her. She is Alien Mixture on the other platforms. You can even see her on Twitter, on the other places. She's back as Allie, so you guys can go and support her there. Give her some love. Tell her you saw her, mention the channel, And here she is on the Twatters, right? So you see it right here. You can be like, hey, I saw you on Legal Mindset. Just be positive, guys. Let's fight back with positivity and support. Get her some supporters over here. A really great streamer. She's got her schedule up here for this week. So this is in EST. She's got Supermarket Simulator coming on Tuesday. BioShock, karaoke, community night. Right? Go support her. Go show up for Supermarket Sim, BioShock. Give her some love. Right? Give her some love. The best way to support somebody and to get back is by supporting in exchange. So let me also talk about the contract. I have seen the contract. I don't want to show the contract because there's too many personal details or potential personal details, but I have read her entire employment contract. I saw somebody in the chat who was trying to get people fired up saying, if it's in the contract, you have to pay it. Let me address that point, okay? Let me address this point. Two things. Number one, just because something is in a contract doesn't mean it's legal. Plenty of people sign contracts that are unenforceable because the terms within the contract are unenforceable in the area that they're trying to enforce them, right? In this case, especially when you have an international contract, it's what the lawyer said. Oftentimes these things are unenforceable and they're going to have to fly across, try to enforce them. It's going to be very difficult. Coyote Trickster said, next time you have Mexican Iron Man on, show him. Yeah, and honestly, one of the best things is, Coyote Trickster, I learned these analysis skills from people like Valiant, Mexican Iron Man. This is how I can analyze this because I've learned from my time on YouTube. I've grown. The way they're cooking the books ain't legit. Even with my lawyer math, I can tell it's not legit. But this is not something that you can contract right? So a lot of these things are not contractual, and it wasn't even in the contract. So number two, for the argument, well, if it's in the contract, you've got to pay it back. It wasn't in the contract. I read it. Nowhere in the contract, nowhere did it say that she has to repay labor costs. Even if that was in there, even if it was, it wouldn't be enforceable in America at least. But even if we want to argue that, oh, maybe in Korea it's enforceable, whatever, right? It's not even in there. So since it's not in there, there's no way to enforce. You have to put that in there if you even want to try to make a bad faith argument. If you want to go full Niji Sanji, right? Niji Sanji had a bunch of unenforceable stuff in their contract. We saw that, right? Niji Sanji's problem was they had a lot. This contract was short. In fact, let me look at it right now. This contract is 3 pages. This contract is 3 pages. I even have their little Korean stamp by their representative. But yeah, 3-page contract. It's got 9 articles. It's very short. Extremely short. So it's a baby contract. It's like the opposite of the Niji contract. The Niji contract was nuts, guys. I mean, that was insane. But this one is like a little baby contract. Honestly, they probably need a longer contract. The stamp is an effective signature in Korea, similar to Japan. You can get the little hanko, you know. Yeah. Or dojang, I think. Dojang is the Korean stamp. Probably pronouncing that wrong. My Korean brothers and sisters are going to come out of nowhere. The 39, the Ukis are going to come out there. Be like, white man can't even pronounce dojang correctly. It's funny. VTuber agency for horse girls. Stable investment. Okay, music and fiction. You forced me to do this.
Thank you very much for all of your lovely art as well. Some of it a little lewd. To those of you drawing me with horses, y'all are into some fucked up shit, and I hope you get the help you need. I really truly hope you get the help you need.
But yes, I see you, Kirisime, here. Also with the stable joke. The horse joke's just flowing today, guys. Just flowing today. All right. And then we've got one from Cy Zephyr who says illegal contract blackmail extortion Rico. Yeah, I mean, it's looking bad. It's looking pretty bad. Yeah. Yeah, just had to talk with one of my guests for later on the show. So that's what we had there for that situation. Guys, make sure you go out there and follow her if you want her content. If you're a fan, make sure you are checked in with her there. That is the best way to follow up. Okay, so a couple things that you guys wanted me to play here. I think I've got like at least one clip to show here. Oh my God, somebody, okay. But this is the one that you guys wanted me to play earlier. This is tomorrow, right? 4 seconds. So very, very short. But people keep asking me to play this. And I've seen it before, but I'll play it again.
Tomorrow.
So yeah, I get it. Thank you guys for the tomorrow clip. Appreciate that. Samantha says, just like a horse mane. Enjoy horseplay. This is how I feel right now.
Yeah, I'm in favor of execution. Maybe our entire team needs to be executed after tonight.
I'll do
Yeah, you'll
this.
be
Hold
there,
on.
okay? Today.
Not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow.
Today.
Today.
So there we go. Yes, I'm gonna execute it all today. You guys are done. You guys are done today. You're done today. Okay, cool. I want to give a little shout out, a little special shout out to Professional Gentleman who's kind of put me on to this is kind of a future topic, but I definitely want to talk with the folks at Idle because I know there's a big comparison. Thanks, Professional Gentleman, for looking out. And guys, make sure you're smashing the like button if you like this content. Guys, let's get to 1,500 likes. We're at 1,288, or sorry, 1,366. So please smash that like button here to help us out in the algo. So from what I hear, Idle does run their stuff different or wants to run their stuff different. So I do hope to talk to them at some point. So I'm going to reach out to them. So hopefully we can have a conversation, just a professional conversation about what their concept was, how they're trying to prioritize their talent and put the talent first. I want to talk to them about their concept there. And what's going on. I don't necessarily need to. I know everyone wants me to like read their contracts. I don't need to read their contracts. I just want to talk to them about philosophy. If they want to show me a contract, that would be fine. I could do that confidentially, but it's up to them whether they want to actually show it to me or not. And I would understand why they might not want to show it to me. But I'd be happy to look at it and give it a once over. But I definitely want to talk to those guys. So I'm going to reach out to these guys and see how they're doing stuff differently and talk to them. So thank you for that. And I just want to say, look, I support people that are doing it right, whether they're doing it as an indie by themselves or as a small agency. I support that. And there are good agencies out there. I don't want to make it sound like every agency is evil, because they certainly are not. They certainly are not. All right. Let's see. Mazarova Palma, grazie for the 10 Legal Mindset memberships. Appreciate that. Thank you so much for supporting that, guys. Litigators in the chat for Mazarova Palma. I want to see some gators in the chat for Mazarova Palma. Thank you for that. Mazarova also says, Anime Girls converted me from watching to a member. Thank you, Mazarova Palma. I'm glad the waifus did it for you. I know. Look, I see people in the chat that are kind of split on my like anime reaction clips. And look, I try to find a fine balance between my own commentary and the reaction clips. Like some people say, oh, it's too many. Some people say, I love them, it's whatever. So it's a fine balance, right? It's a fine balance. I try to make it a fine wine. It's not going to 0 and it's not going to 100 either. So there's a fine line there, but I try to make sure I'm still giving you good analysis, good reactions, and genuine commentary on these issues, but having fun too. And thank you for that. Thank you for saying the balance is great. Thank you. So Potato Radio said, this is like Epic Records billed Michael Jackson 5 years after Thriller came out for everything, including TP. They earned him nothing in sales. Yeah, this is not just for VTubers, guys. This happens outside of the VTubing sphere. VTubing, it's not like VTubing is the first hostile or abusive workplace, right? There have been people taken advantage of in workplaces since the beginning of time. It's a thing. It's a relationship where you have to balance between the workers and the company interest. Now, if, for example, it's all in the power of the workers and maybe a little bit of my personal beliefs are bleeding through here, it needs to be a balance, because all corporation is exploitation. It's slavery, right? All corporate power is slavery. All worker power is, it ends up even like communism is putting it lightly. It actually ends up just destroying the industries altogether. They just don't happen, right? So if, for example, a worker has all the rights and doesn't actually have to work at all, right? They don't actually have to produce anything. All the rights are with the worker. The worker has full power. Well, then nothing gets built, right? Then it's just like, oh, well, we're just not doing anything because, we don't have any power. So, why would we do anything? We're just here to summon Rima. Clop, 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 run. Shout out to Rima, Base Horse Girl. We'll be watching a little bit of her documentary, as a reference point for some of the Pippa video, which is going to be positive. It's going to be love. Even though it's styled High Crimes of Pippa Pipkin, it's high crimes that we adore. Sorry if Epic Records. Yeah, thank you. It's okay. Elwin says, now that you mentioned Ookie, it's glorious that indie streamers just casually mentioned that one racist Niji guy and make fun of him for 8 minutes straight. Yeah, did you see the video I had the other day? We watched Ookie for, that whole time where people are just cringing at how hurt he is. Like, who hurt him? It's sad. It's pathetic, really. Black Seal Pow said phase equals sad girl company, LM stable equal saddle company. Giddy up, boys. Giddy up. AOD Dark Wolf says, compared to Niji Sanji's contract, how fair was our contract using Niji's example? If 10 is just and 0 is horrible, and Niji Sanji is like a 1, right? It's like pretty much as bad as it's going to get, right? This was like a 5, or maybe it could go down or up depending on your perspective, but it was honestly like maybe a 5.5. It was like maybe like it was just simple. It was lacking things. His problem was it was missing things. That was the problem with this contract. It was very short, and there wasn't much in it, which is fine, but I don't know. There's stuff that should have been mentioned. So yeah, it was very interesting. It was not manifestly crazy. In fact, it was more surprising that they didn't talk about this stuff. So I don't want to say it's fair. It was just very simple. 0 is verbal only. 0 is trust me, bro. I'll pay you. That's 0. I got you, bro. At least with these VTubers problems, other VTubers don't have to suffer as much because it happened to them. Yes, this is why I do this, guys. I do this to help people as a resource, to help educate people on this. And because literally, like, hearing her say that the sell-in Doki Bird scenario helped inspire her to have courage to talk about this, to speak up, to fight back, to get a lawyer, right? That to me meant everything. Hearing that meant everything. People say 0 is whacked her. Oh no. But yeah, hearing that I inspired her, that just the situation, the scenario inspired her, really helped. Rose Keela says, if I appear again, I am a ghost. LM is my summoner. Will I hereby summon the undead? We found your uncle equestrian. Check your emails. Oh yeah. Sorry. Okay. This is a reference here. So this was sent to me. Oh my God. Someone sent this to me as like a meme article, which is really hilarious. But this is clearly involving a situation that Rima needs to investigate. So there is apparently, it's a very important legal issue. Stallion owners demand that the World Breeding Federation of Sport Horses takes action against horse spunk fraud. This is a real news article. This is real. There's apparently spunk fraud. So Rima, just make sure that your lineage comes out clean. I know the 23andMe came out full mare, but you got to make sure it's on point there. Thank you for the article. That thing was Vosh most affected. Yes. Vosh was the culprit. Vosh was the person stealing the horse spunk from the European Horse Federation. You can't make this up. Somebody clipped that and sent it to Rima. Oh, it'll be clipped. I'm sure it'll be clipped. But guys, I am. That's what we got for today. That was really appreciated. Had a lot of fun. A little bit shorter stream. We got a Pippa stream coming up, and then I am taking a little break. I am going to Manila. I will bring my streaming setup there, but it may be a little more ghetto, maybe a little bit more rigged up, maybe a little bit more different. It'll also be on a different computer too, so that'll be interesting. I to play with that. I have a travel PC, so it'll be using my travel PC. So just want to say thank you guys for supporting me. Thank you guys for being awesome. You guys are wonderful. You guys make this possible day after day. And just like, thank you for supporting me. So look forward to, guys, the Pippa stream in 7 hours and 40 minutes. we have a Pippa stream. So I got to get some sleep at some point, even though I'm wide awake and probably going to go eat at the Nizakaya. But that said, take care, guys. Catch you later. Peace. Let me play an outro here of a little.
Maybe I have a chance. You goddamn crocodile! Go back to the fucking Florida! Go back!